Good evening, one and all. It is Sunday. It's the end of the week, and it is time that we get back into some more good old Warframe. Hope you're doing well away around the world today. Oh, yes, indeed. We are stood here in the dry dock rather conspicuously because we're going to do absolutely nothing railjack. No, yeah, no, yeah, we are. Everyone knows we're doing railjack today, of course, because there was the whole steel path railjack and all the Mark IV turrets and whatnot that we did spend some time on previously. If I press the correct button, there we go, it's X to interact. If we have a look at the armament section here, we do indeed see I've got some of the Mark IV turrets, but not all of them. In fact, it looks like we have 6, but there's a couple of duplicates here. We got 2 lathes, 3 lathes, in fact. The lathes really wanted to drop, apparently. 3 lathe already, as well as a Vort, Talon, and Apoc. And whilst that does give us a handful of turrets, we can find more. We can certainly find more. So, what remains in terms of just the basic weapons themselves is get hold of the Carcinox, Cryophon, Photor, Pulsar, and Glacio. Which will all be some work to do. Hobart Paving saying, cannot get another Mark IV Talon drop to save your life. When you say another, have you already had one drop then? And if you've already had one drop, what's holding you back now? What else is it that you need? But yes, getting them to drop in the first place, now that's the fun bit. Untradeable, unpurchasable, it is either you get it or you don't. Which is certainly a little bit of a challenge. And by challenge I mean, well, the missions themselves aren't really that challenging. All of the challenge is just on hoping you're lucky. So let's hope we're lucky today. Let's hope I've got some stream luck. Now, on the previous one we did go as a group, so we're going to mix up this time and go as a solo. Just yours truly taking on the world. And notably, when it comes to the armaments, if I just double check my listings here, there it is. So the Corpus, they dropped the Glacio, Lathe, Talon, and Vort. Well, Lathe, Talon, and Vort are 3 of the 4 I already have. Glacio I'm missing, but that's only 1 out of the 4 there, whereas Apoc, Carcinox, Cryophon, Photor, Pulsar all are from the Grenier, and I only have 1 of those, so makes sense to me that the Grenier are who I would like to face. And double checking on the bits and pieces here. Yeah, for the Vidar ones, which I think are the highest damage of the turrets usually. Is it highest damage, highest DPS, something like that? Hold on, let me just double check this real quick. No, Zetki has the highest burst DPS normally, I think. Vidar has the highest capacity because they have a lower heat generation while still having decent stats, and then Levan is much more status, which a lot of the time is kind of a bit in comparison. I'll need to double check on that, it's been a while, but I think with the way it shakes out, it should be putting us in the right spot there. How about, so I want to get the fire rate up to 60%. Ah, I see. So if you've got a Mark III, let me just show you that real quick. If you've got a Mark III, you can actually just combine them. So let me show you that in action here. I've got this, it's a 59.9% Levan Lathe. Combining that seems almost ridiculous, but yes, if I go into Valence, never mind, I don't have another one of that. Let's try one of these other bits. That one's already maxed out. Let's try this one. Let's claim the Apoc and take it from there. 52.6, can I fit? This is going to be a long day if this keeps happening. I have 2 Zetki lathes. I can definitely do some work with that, but that's not actually the one I want to use. I wanted to use a Mark III. Here we go, right. Finally, I have a Zetki Lathe Mark IV here, 54.1% fire rate. I can Valence fuse it with my Zetki Lathe Mark III, and you see the result will be a Zetki Lathe Mark IV, 60% fire rate. So yes, that is indeed a thing that you can do. I'm not sure how that extends down to other stuff because I don't actually have repaired or prepared other items really. These are all... Oh, that one's not maxed out. But yeah, there's nothing to valence with. So that just throws a spanner in the works into even just noticing what you can do, yeah. You assume to be 4-4 only? A reasonable assumption, honestly. Up to the point where the game just goes, no, actually, you don't have to. You good. You cool, bruh. Yeah, this one here, 55.2. And again, I don't have a matching thing to combine it with. Let's just double check on the Talon Mark 4s. If I go Talon... Yeah, so I've got Zetki Talon Mark 2 down there. And it doesn't want to combine with that. And I do have Zetki Talon Mark 3. Is it because these are equipped? Might be. Hold on. Let's switch that to something else. Just, I don't even care what else. What's going on here? Zetki Talon Mark 4. Now I can combine with the Zetki Talon Mark 3 that I had there. Okay. I need to identify things to fuse. That would also add to it then, wouldn't it? So if I search for the APOG, which I wasn't finding anything for, if I go down to... I mean, if I go down as far as here, I have a Zetki APOG Mark 1. If I do that... There we go. Now that gives a very, very tiny increase, because of course it's a Mark 1 on a Mark 4, but yes, even the Mark 1s do work. Okay. I'm going to leave that one so that I can use that as a demonstration in future. That's perfect. There we are. Needs to be identified first, which, when you think about it, the game could have checked for that. The game could have checked and said, like, rather than, oh, there's nothing, just go... Also, why is that cut off at the top there? Huh. It would be nice if it had that little bit of extra information. Compatible items detected but not inspected. Please inspect, continue. Or would you like to inspect it? Some kind of more involved interface would be ideal. Hell, if I were designing it from the ground up, now I'm already thinking about it. If I were designing that from the ground up... oh, hello.
Full deck. Perhaps convenient for Tau. Mayhaps?
That is interestingly timed there, isn't it, Ray? Absolutely. Thank you very much for the 52 months of support on the channel here, and at tier 3 no less. Much appreciated, Ray. 52 months there. And for those of you who don't get the Tau reference there, well, you clearly didn't watch Tenacon enough. I'll just put it there. Yeah, if I was designing this from the ground up, we're going through the whole valence fuse, we're on this thing, rather than it coming up with that screen, which is already taking basically the entire screen, I would have it open up with whatever item it is at the top, so say Levan Lathe Mark 4, that's what I'm working with. It would then have 4 slots for Levan Lathe Mark 1, 2, 3, and 4 to say the number of compatible items. And you can click through to select one of them. And then a row below that of Levan Lathe Mark 1, 2, 3, and 4 of not yet inspected, so you could click through to just inspect one and add it to the pile. And that way then you'd be able to see immediately, oh, these are things which are compatible, I just need to go ahead and get one of those, or even, oh, I actually have one of them, I just didn't turn it into a compatible state. It's that kind of interface that allows you to see the path forwards rather than just going, no compatible items. Okay, so I guess I just need another one of these then? If all the other stuff I've got is not compatible, I guess I just need another of the same thing. Which is exactly the issue Hobart there run into. Something similar to Relic Station? Honestly, not that far off. Not that far off, right? Yeah. Because when you click on the relic in Relic Station, it comes up with a panel of, here's what you could get from it, here's the 4 upgrade tiers, auto selecting the best choice. Centaur saying simply less valence fuse unidentified items. I understand why there's a step on that, Centaur, and that's because whilst it's unidentified, it doesn't have a fire rate bonus, or whatever the bonus is for that weapon. And so until you have identified it, we don't know what it is. Once it's identified, then the math is available as to, okay, so this is what it upgrade into, or even, actually, do you want to upgrade them the other way around? Because say I had a Zetki APOG Mark IV with a 30% fire bonus, and I've got an unidentified one. If I identify, it might come out with this 52%. And then I go, wait, hang on. Change of plan. It's a relatively niche spot, but then all of this is relatively niche. Every part of it is some kind of niche. Because you do all the fiddling, and then you just move on. Yeah, Centaur, honestly, just the simple process of having it all in the UI in a quick click situation. So, say this was the row right here. This was my Mark 2, 3, and 4 stuff. Imagine another row for Mark 1. It would just be, oh, these are unidentified. Okay, click identify. Bam, done. Now it's moved up in, you have an identified item. It pops up with the menu of, yep, you've identified a 56%. You go, alright, yeah, give me that one. Done. And like, all of this UI as it currently is presented here is the largest amount of space it would even need for the majority of things. When you think about the relevant information when Venet's fusing, we don't need pop-ups with every single stat, because with Venet's fusing the same items. So it could just be the smaller rows of Mark IV, bonus X, Mark III, bonus Y, Mark II, bonus Z, Mark II again, bonus W, whichever of the letter you want to use at that point. Just gives you a very simple list so that both PC and control and PC, controller, and even mobile will be able to step through that no problem. You just, yep, tap, valence, confirm. From my perspective, that'd be really easy to do. I say that's unfair. From my perspective, that would be visually easy enough to implement and spec out. In terms of the actual under-the-hood connections, who knows how their inventory system works. But at the very least, it would give people the upfront information as to what they need, and then also, when they have it, how to actually utilize it. That's the kind of thing that these inventory systems could really do with in any game, not just Warframe. Soulframe, take notes. Showing you the path and letting you know where you are on that path. Anyway, enough of all that right now. We are indeed off to go shooting. As I've looked up, it is... So I was thinking of going for the... Zetki and Vidar are both interesting options for me. Zetki, for those rewards, they drop from the Elite Exo Gokstad cruise ships and the Elite Exo Outriders, which I think are all from Voidstorms. Whereas Vidar drops from the just all the cruise ships. Just all the cruise ships, Elite or otherwise. But it needs to be that top tier to get the high value ones. So, let's look into that. We're going to go on to, of course, a Railjack. Out of curiosity, I'm going to start with a really low level one on a Voidstorm, just to confirm if we do get the elite cruise ships there. Now, being a really low level one, it's going to have the much lower tier cruise ships. Let's just double check on that. Yeah, it will have the Cosmos down here, and I think Cosmos don't have the rewards. Do they even come in a... Hold on. Actually, you know what? This is all getting a little bit mixed around, because I'm looking at details for just general drops, but no, this is Steel Path drops. Steel Path has different rules. Yeah, so for example, the Zetki Pulsar Mark IV can drop from an Elite Cosmo Outrider, but not apparently an Elite Cosmo cruise ship, if that even exists. Control F, Elite Cosmo... Nope. Yeah, no, that's seeming like there ain't a thing, is there? Hold on. But yeah, I'm seeing basic ships, but not cruise ships. Like the Elite Cosmo variant. Okay, okay. So let's load into this one then. Let's verify if I am looking at this the right way around, or if I've got my wires crossed. This is all an important part of understanding it all, so let's just do that. And as if on cue, here is said Relic UI, which gives you that interaction process. You can see, even if I couldn't upgrade, it would tell me what it would cost to upgrade. It tells me the resources they've got. It shows you the at least a visual indication of the bits and pieces of what's going on. There's room for those to be numbers as well, or if you moused over it to give you numbers. There is definitely room. In fact, I would have it on this bit here. This is where I'd have those numbers of the drop percentages rather than just the visual fields. And yeah, you're very right, Ray. Yep, it does show what you don't currently have, and you can search even within them as to what will be there. So like Limbo, you can... I do have some Limbo relics, that's curious. But yeah, if I search for Limbo, I can see all the Limbo Lith relics, all the ones I don't have, all the ones I do have. The whole UI for the relics, it allows you to find so much of the information you're looking for. It's very close to perfect in that regard. Very, very close. The big things I'd say are missing there are a filter for vaulted, both a positive filter and negative filter, to filter to just those or to filter them out. And then, as I say over here, to have the actual values as to what is a common drop, what is an uncommon drop, and what is a rare drop, so you can make an informed choice without needing to go out of the game to the wiki. But overall, like 9 out of 10 here. It has almost everything you'd need, and even it's auto-filtered to just Lith because we're looking at a Lith Fisher, so it's taking out all that information. But if we were in just the relic screen on the relic console, then we'd see all of the eras of relics and be able to step through them. Yeah. Kaki was saying there needs to have a tag that shows vaulted or not on the item. That would be nice as well, honestly, yeah. That'd be nice. Whether a tag or a highlight, something to distinguish it, because they've already got various tags here, and some of them do override others. So, like, let me see. Do I have a good override example? Yeah, I own Trump Prime blueprints, but I've also crafted it. So now it's showing the crafted one, but is the tick under it also supposed to be owned? I don't think it is. So until I mouse over it, I don't actually know that I've got 4 owned ones or any owned blueprints. Just a glance there. But like, that's not the end of the world. That kind of extra information you can easily mouse over and just look into the further bits. But yeah, if these relics, for the ones which are vaulted, you can mouse over and tab through individually to see if it's vaulted or not. That icon for the Prime Vault could absolutely be in the top right corner of every single one. And like I say, even add a differently coloured border to them. Like a grayed out border or just a highlight of some type to show, at a glance, these are the vaulted ones. That kind of thing would take it from a good interface to a great one. But for now, we're just going to grab a random relic because I don't care about the relic contents. Yeah. Inventory UIs are always a bit of a nuisance to coordinate because, let's face it, it's busy work. It's fiddling through the details rather than anything particularly gameplay. So anything that can make that as simple as possible to just give you the information you're going to care about on the screen usable is always an upgrade. Oh, I've still got this equipped. Wasn't sure I was going to want to have that equipped, but okay. Let's see, what units have we got here? So we got Elite Cosmo Cutter. We got Elite Cosmo Flak. What else we got? And oh, that's a normal Cosmo Outrider. Okay. And was doing some look into that. Apparently, You know what, pause a second. Apparently there are some very specific things I should be looking for on these. If I turn off that highlight... Yeah, it's these here. My highlight was hiding all along. Highlight is a nerf in this mission, apparently. Please take damage, thank you. Let's just stun everything. Because I know over a couple streams, there was the back and forth as to what bits will actually hit on them. For some reason, it never occurred to me to turn off the highlights in those streams, did it? Never occurred to me. Or if I did, I wasn't paying attention. Your boy actually had a good night's sleep last night. So now I can focus. Okay, that's a lie. I can pay attention to what I'm doing, I can't focus. We will splinter into 20,000 topics. Right, no idea. I can't remember the last time I played an Arcwing Pursuit mission. So if it is the same model or same something from Pursuit, well, all the best we're figuring that out. Ah, we have got an elite outrider here as well. Okay. So the elite ones have a relevant drop table to us, and Zetki Pulsar Mark III. So I could have got a Mark IV there. If they drop a Mark III, they can drop a Mark IV. At least on Steel Path, obviously. So that was the right kind of unit for that kind of thing. Whereas cutters are just cutters. We don't have to care about them. Just kill them. Same with the, what is that? Tactis. We don't care about Tactis. We only care about tactics. More cutters. It's a little harder to glance to see what ship is which, I guess, but it's not that much of an issue. I'm just trying to see if there's another outrider around here before I just blow up the area. Blow up the area. Aha, outrider. As identified by its surviving the damage. There we go. Right, yes. Knowing where those weak spots are changes the game entirely on that. Beautiful. And so far, I think that was one turret drop. Now let's see, are you Cosma Gokstad cruise ship? Not elite. Not elite. Also, I failed the stun. My bad. Gonna let the stun recharge. There we go. Let's get a nice clean shot on that. What practical problem we're solving today? Oh, more than one. Always more than one. Also, my ship is about to blow up. Or try to. Ta-da! Yeah, so we're verifying which units spawn where. Woke up for a moment. Heal the ship. Am I in time? We are confirming the drops of armaments. Confirmed the weak spots on Outriders that I'd somehow missed for 2 streams on the trot. All that good stuff. Now, given the precision that seemed to be needed for those Outriders, precision turrets are going to be the name of the game for them then. I'm going to see how many different ways I can try taking them out, but yeah, given their spawn rate, there's going to be limits on that testing. God knows what all of these filaments are doing. Oh, okay, that took a lot of damage from a lot of something. Now, I noticed that it stopped taking a lot of damage from pretty much anything, and sure enough, no weak spots. It finally died to something. But sure enough, that Outrider had no weak spots, so I wonder if part of the issue I've been having is that something actually just destroys the weak spots without landing a lethal blow. And I wonder if it was the Shatter Burst. There we go! Right. Now I know what I'm looking for. Now I see the interactions. And now I see why they would suddenly take bursts of damage non-lethally and then just become super resilient. Because they're always super resilient. But there's those weak spots that the AoEs were slapping insufficiently. Okay, that is a big deal then, because it shows that Shadow Burst actually kind of screws you over on killing them. Because if it's going to leave them very resistant to damage, even on so few hit points, then it kind of undoes the value of it.
Enemy pilots are panicking. Keep it up.
Bits to keep in mind. Now we just need to find more of them to verify further information. Let's deal with that cruise ship. I feel like the cruise ship's trying to hurt me. You know, what it does. With that, immobilize. Let's grab the big gun. 3, 2, 1. Bop. Slightly mistimed my counting, but it's fine.
Cruise ship has gone bye-bye.
Back over here.
Warning. Void storm is strengthening.
Restore hull.
Fate.
I don't really need to be doing that, but it just seems like the right thing to be doing, you know. Yeah, there's Pikachu. 12 money. Okay, the flak. Easy enough to tear apart. They have those ice shields at the front, but with the way they're flying around, they often don't put it in front of you, so just shoot. The cutters are nothing. Really nothing. Just line up the shot and take them out. There we are. Getting the lock on can be a little frustrating with projectile weapons like this, but it gets there. Tactis, same again, didn't see anything concerning there. That's an Outrider, so we see these weak spots, so if I just shoot at the weak spot, let's not shoot the mines, just to be clear here, it's losing hit points from my NPC crew.
5 is the worst, by the way.
Oh yeah, the damage ramp up whilst I was hitting that left weak spot there, where I had a clean line on it. Big difference.
Crew, light them up.
Okay. Oh, you had a railjack bug with the sister fight, did you? Yeah. Yeah, with the way railjack handles the sister fights, if you get ejected from the galleon, sorry, not galleon, the Corpus ship, I forget the name of it for whatever reason, it's just mission failure because you're in the wrong spot and can't get back to the right spot. It's not a very good bug handling. I guess it's just not frequent enough for DE to have found the fix. Hey, you there. Prepare to have your engine obliterated. In 4. Oh, wait, no. I didn't get some new dome charges. That's on me. That's on me. Oops. Alright, first of all, ship's getting a little low on hit points. Let's fix that. There we go. Second of all, let's get those here. Yep. There we are. That recharges nice and quickly. Like 25-second recharge. The upgrades I have. That cruise ship, it's on the move. But that's not going to save it. Because I can stun it. With it stunned, with its engine not taken out, we can go pop right there. One shot.
Cruise ship
There
down.
we are.
That clears up some space.
That's taking out everything else. That's a cutter. Oh my, I'm blind.
Alert.
That is a
Enemy
lot
cruise
of
ship
extra
on
fighters.
scope.
And I see an Outrider. I don't think the normal Outriders are a source of the gun I'm looking for. Yeah, we can see how that damage is working through it. I want to try it with a more precise weapon, though. In position. There we are.
We have one less crow ship to be concerned with. Direct attention to remaining targets.
Cause the cutter cut in pieces. Flak stupidly deciding to turn away the shield from the damage. It's like, okay, I mean if you want to die. Let's see, anything else with a lot of hit points, because it's probably an Outrider. What are you? What are you? What are you? No, it's just a bunch of cutters and whatnot. If I drop this, let's see what doesn't take a lot of damage. That one just avoided the AoE. Okay. Yeah, none of the strong ones here are actually Outriders. Okay. We'll just kill everything then. Take him out. Bit by bit. And of course I can keep on firing my abilities every 10 seconds. To just add to the obliteration. Alright, we're not going to get any more fighter spawns now apparently. So this is the last of what we get in that regard. Looking again for anything resilient. They're actually kind of holding up against the abilities pretty well, just in general. It takes a lot to take out each one. Oh, that's an Outrider. Already blapped off all of the weak spots, we just have raw hit points to get through. Which is fine. Just a process. Yeah, who would have thought this whole time that Shatterburst was hiding the mechanics of how to kill an Outrider by destroying the weak spots? I wouldn't have predicted that, I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'd have ever clocked on that there was a weak spot being taken out without it taking out the ship, and that's what was leaving me with that perplexing final hit points on him. Seemed bugged. Also, I don't think I've fired a single dome charge that has been saved. I'm going to have to double check my modding after this. Nope, Chaos Kitty Cat found the enter key a little too soon. Other cruise ships over there. Oh, the double stun. Perfect placement. Perfect placement. Let's see, we've got a cleaner shot on this one. Let's get that first. Boop. And then this one. Boop. Oh, and one more spawned in line of sight. Well, that's perfect. See, coming towards me. So I want this pot. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Cruise ship reactor has detonated.
Anything left alive? Oh. Nothing left alive now. Well, let's go for those. Oh yes, Pikachu. If I've got a cruise ship at like 12 kilometers, you can still line up that shot. It gets a bit spicy at that distance, but still very manageable. Where's the entrance on this one?
New target.
There it is.
Turbine. Infiltrate. Disable reactors. Neutralize.
I don't think the railjack at any point there got reduced to 0 hit points. It got a little close, and this is the lowest level Void Storm on Steel Path, but that's still an achievement in itself. We'll take those. Just like we'll take all the headshots off of these guys. Get shredded. Mmm, juicy, juicy reactant. Gib, gib, gib. One more. Thank you. Oh, that was nice and quick.
Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Pop those. You pop those. That's going to lead to the radiator outside. Crew already popped the radiator. Damn, I forgot to even set a pilot, and they just nailed the shot anyway. Let's see, can they get the second one without my intervention? Probably not. I'm going to need to move you into piloting. Ah, look at them all clustered in the bubble. They thought it would save them. We just give it a moment. They'll pop the second radiator. Because Bulb needs to get out of the gunner seat, move along to the pilot, get in the pilot seat, pull the ship out and around to see the radiator. There we are. And we teleport out. Don't think we've got any mark. Oh, no, hold on. I didn't notice that. We got Levan Photor Mark IV during that. Nice. Now, Levan, unfortunately, I think is the status-focused one, and given the Photor's already anemic DPS, that ain't so great. But it is a Mark IV. So let's see here. Photon Mark IV stats has not been properly discovered as yet. Cool. Okay. Yeah. The burst DPS of the Z key at full bonus is known, and that is 9931, up from on the Z key Mark III. It's a burst of 7370. So 9931 is an improvement for sure. Are we doing Steel Path Railjack? Yes. What's the lowest one can do to get Mark IVs? So it depends on the Mark IV you're looking for. If you're looking for any of the Grineer drops, then the lowest ones would be the Void Storms, or just the Earth missions here. I think the Void Storms are necessary for the low one, but I haven't double checked yet, because I'm still working on said double checking. And then for the Corpus ones, it would be here. With one exception, unless they fix the bug. Oh no, there was a bugged mission out here. One second. If I go for Vort Mark IV, I misspelt it. Sorry for the sound there. Okay, yeah, so for the Corpus, they come in Orm, Axio, Tarot, and Vorak variants. Let me see. Weaver. The Tarot is the low-level one, which would be here on Venus. And so long as they're at least level 51, it counts as Steel Path. That should be all of these. Then Axio was Neptune Proxima. Let's see. And they need to be at least 71. Ah, there it is. Ava Vector. Ava Vector is the only currently bugged Steel Path Railjack mission. So, with Ava Vector, because its fighter level is 68 to 70, and Steel Path on this planet is defined as 71, this mission will give you Steel Path difficulty, but normal mode drops from the fighters. It's such a teeny tiny little thing. It's an oversight in how they set up the drop tables. So they defined this as 51 plus a steel, this is 71 plus, and then 71, 71. Neptune should be 61 plus to maintain that ratio. Is that a good thing? No, that's the opposite of a good thing. Steel Path difficulty, normal mode drops is the worst way around. If you wanted it to be bugged, you want it to be bugged with low difficulty, Steel Path drops. Not the other way around. So this is the wrong way around. It looks like it should be a Steel Path Railjack mission because all the levels are kind of lining up. But it's just below the reward threshold. In the drop tables, it very literally defines a Mark IV drop coming from level 71 to 100. for the fighters that spawn there. Well, they're not going to be level 71. So yeah, just one bugged one. I have reported it. We'll see when DE finally the opportunity to change that. Emphasis on when. Because it is a bug. And there's our Urple bite. Wally asking, is there a reason to build the Railjack other than getting better Railjack parts? If you've already got a Mark III loadout, the Mark IV weapons are just a DPS increase. You can complete every single mission in the entire game with the Mark III stuff. That includes all the Steel Path missions, all the Weapons of El Proxima, because I've already done it. I've already done it. So, you don't need to fret yourself on that. I claim my Nightwave rewards? Accidentally, actually. Accidentally. I rolled through the, let's say, the ramp in my orbiter, and for some reason just twitched and pressed X as I passed Nora Knight's console. And because of that, it opened it up and forced me to go through picking up 30 creds. And it's like, alright, give it a moment. That happened just before stream. It was a genuine mistake. Or rather, not so much a mistake as just misclick. Wasn't intended. Okay, so I think we've covered various bits and pieces. I wanted to double check my... Yeah, I wanted to double check my modding, make sure I'm not on like some kind of test build or gunnery build. Don't want to be on that right now. I mean, the gunnery build is useful for the DPS, but it comes with other downsides. So I was getting ready for Amir. Oh, right, the Nightwave thing about a bobbity bob. Yeah, yeah. I should probably spend my creds on that point. DU will give us a warning when it's like 2 weeks left to spend. I'll be fine. Alright. So, on here... I am running... Artillery Cheap Shot. Yep, 5 times in a row it just didn't trigger. 5 times in a row it just didn't trigger. That is 0.4 to the 5. That is a 1% chance. Ah, we do love those. What a nice 1%. Bloody pile of crap. Anyway, we have a new Mark IV. It is the Photon Mark IV. Let us inspect it. 43.3. Honestly, not bad. Let's hit the repair, get that going. Contribute everything, and away it goes. Okie dokie then. Now we also do have the base stats there, and the wiki I think is currently missing them. So we should be able to provide those. What I'm going to do is just make sure I've got the correct information. Let's see here. Yeah, if I compare my Zetki Photor Mark III to what it says on the wiki. Wiki has crit chance 18%, check. Heat accretion 18. Bugged, mine says 0. Okay. Status projectile 9% confirmed. Damage 324 confirmed. Okie so if we go to the Mark IVs then. Heat accretion... Still bugged there. Why does my heat accretion say 0 on the Photor? It's not 0. Why does it say 0? Do I have something that is interfering with that? Let's see. Plus turret heat capacity. Advanced resistance, forge capacity, forge cooldown. No. Also, just realised we're up against the Grenadier today. Boop. There we are. No, I don't know why that is happening. That is a weird bug. Okay. How's Mark IV farm going so far? I mean, picked up the Van Photor, so that's nice. You think it shows it correct when I equip it? Unfortunately, I can't equip it yet because it's currently repairing. And I don't want to spend my very few rush drones, which it also... Does it... Oh, I could spend plat on it, but like... Yeah. I don't particularly want to spend plat on it either right now, to be honest, so I'll just skip that detail for the moment. It's just an annoying UI issue. We can see status per projectile. It is claiming 10.5%. Is that the same across these? Oh, interesting. Wait, but 10.5% is what the Z key has, according to the wiki. This is Levan. Levan is supposed to have slightly lower than Z key, actually. Ah, okay. Not too sure what is going on with that there. My crit chance is rated at 14%, so we can put it in that note. Let's see. Can I edit the wiki directly on this one? Will it give me a nice, lovely edit button? No. Wait. Oh. Nope. Nope. This part of the wiki has some complicated-looking stuff. This is using various tools and features. I can't just change numbers in a table. Never mind. Not going to edit the wiki this time. This is why half the information I find I don't put on the wiki when it's numerical is that the wiki uses some slightly scary interactable tables and modules and whatnot, and I don't know how they work. I'm not going to break it for everyone. I have to go to a specific page. Okay. Specific page. Edit. Oh. And edit with it. Oh, God, no, not you. Okay, so now it's got the table as if it's a picture. Tabber edit, and tabber edit gives me, oh God, the most ungodly looking edit UI, and the box doesn't increase to fill my screen. Nope, someone else can do it. Someone else can do it. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. I'm not editing that. Certainly not live on stream. I'll be here for the next 20 minutes to try and figure out which line is supposed to take the number 14. Ugh. It was filling up a space about the size of 2 of these on my inventory. That was the size of the edit box I had to work with in pseudocode for a table. Pass. Absolutely pass. So yeah. For those who care to make the edits, screenshot the stats. There they are. Fill in the blanks. If you want to be a hero of the wiki. I, however, am going to go ahead and get some more of these drops, so we can get even more answers. Let's update the goal. We now have the photo. There we are. That's a very nice one to have, by the way. And I wanted to change my armament, so I was using the Vort there, which is a very high DPS one. Let's see. With the, I don't remember how half of these work. There's so many guns and I barely use them. So the APOC is projectiles, that do blah blah blah. So projectiles not hit scan? Let's see. I'm not certain. So I'm going to equip it. There'll be a few hit scan radical weapons. I imagine as much, yeah. Mostly laser beams. Let's equip it anyway. See how it works out for us, especially in dealing with the Outriders. That is the main focus, because they're the only one that needs real precision. Everything else, so long as the shots hit, the shots hit. So it is just them where my focus is at. From Ollie Volt saying, other than for mastery, only of the resurgence weapons that are worth getting. I don't actually know what the resurgence weapons are at the moment. Sorry, Ollie. Is there a specific weapon you're looking at umming and ahhing over? Which one is calling out to you as something you need to investigate? And Let's check. If I go APOC Mark IV, and just verify here. So the Vidar APOC Mark IV drops from any Steel Path cruise ship 2% of the time. The Z key drops from the Elite Outriders or the Elite Exo cruise ship, which is only in the Vale. And then the Lavan drops only from the cruise ships, but that includes just the basic Cosmic Oxstad on Steel Path. So either which way, running this mission should give me at least access to Lavan. If Elite Outriders spawn there, and that is an if they spawn there, then I can also get the Z key. But I think the Vidar... No, Vidar should also be available to us. So we should be able to get all three here, actually. Any of the APOCs are available here, and if the APOCs are available, everything should be available. Theoretically. Yeah, that would be the theory.
Fighters incoming.
TD Boy, I need to review all of them. Give you an idea as to what's good. Oh, that is a comfortable weapon to use. Oh. Okay, that's nice. We compare that to the Vort and its much slower travel time. That ooh, alright. Oh, mines means there's Outriders. Where are the Outriders? Where are you? Show yourselves. Flak, flak. I didn't just kill the Outriders, did I? Because if so, they died quick. What gun is this? This is APOC. Aha, there's an Outrider. So we can see the turrets down here. Sorry, not turrets, shield gens. Getting those precision hits in is viable. And we got a Mark III. Oh well. Man! Especially with the auto track that you pick up at the highest tier of gunnery. Just blap. Oh! That was a decent range. Yeah, a few hundred meters it's handling. Let's get something a little bit more distant to see how we fare. Let's see, what range we got there? Nearly 2k. Okay. Okay, yeah. You know what? To help out with the test a moment, let's get you as... Sorry, just engineer a moment. There we go. So I'm the only one firing now. Let's back up a bit from these guys. Now they're all flying towards me. That does make this easier. Let's see. 3.5 kilometers. Eventually gets the kill. 3k, 2.5, closing in. Taking evasive fire. We got the kill. Come on, give me a good lock on. I don't think it wants to lock on too well at this range. There we are. Yeah, getting things to lock on at a longer range can be a bit of a pain, it seems. Once we got it... I mean, it just kind of dismantles them. And the heat generation, look at that heat generation. I'm just going to hold the fire button for a moment. Nope. Well, I mean, that's slightly problematic. One of my engineers will fix it. That heat generation, you can see it's now just come out from my camera. You couldn't see it until just now. And then Rag9 perk, instant recharge, and away we go again. This is a cozy weapon. I mean, I'm not even aiming for the weak spots on this Outrider, and I am just kind of eating it. Oh, I think I might have a new favorite if the others don't shape up beyond this. This is solid. Not so great against Corpus cruise ships, sure. You'll have to have some other trick for that. But I think the best trick for those is just get your NPC crew off the side guns. Or just go boarding. To be honest, with the amount of hit points they have, just going boarding is the right answer for those. That has proven worthwhile. Hello there, Queen. I hope you're doing well today. And... Been trying to farm Time Mark 4? I think I have one of those for testing today. So we can equip that in the next mission. Presuming I remember. Yeah, this is already absolutely tearing through a lot of stuff. Now that's another Outrider. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if I'm hitting the weak spots very much there. This thing is mildly annoying to try and aim for. But even just hitting it through its armor, that was working. Took a moment to kill it, but it killed it.
Breach sealed. Railjack integrity restored. Enemy fighter support has been halved.
Now, let's add on boosted turret damage for just a moment. If I can lock on better. Ah, if I could just shoot it. No, the lock on is needed. That's an Outrider. No wonder it wasn't dying. You there. Your fancy shields. Damn. See, this is the issue with hitting those weak spots. I don't know if I'm hitting them, or missing them, or what here. There we go. Eventually the DPS increased, and I got a Cryophon. Yo, great Cape Goomba. Thank you very much for the prime there, up onto 19 months. Much appreciated. Just gonna let my engineers fix my ship again. Huh. Cheers indeed.
Frame integrity preserved.
Alright, we're back.
Return to duty.
Damn. What an end to that clone's life. Ooh, straight up killing all of them halfway through their call for aid is a little bit grim when you think about it. So don't think about it, just kill. Just kill. Alright, we're still only 2/3 away through the fighters.
Fighters on scope.
Here's some more. I'm going to ignore the cruise ship still, because we've solved cruise ships. Take out the cutter. Looking for a Outrider. That one dodged actually pretty well. Nope. Lock-on gave up on that one. That was a bit weird. Some of these don't even get time to send out a distress call. We are tearing through them with this weapon. Yeah, we're tearing through them one at a time, but yeah. Oh, never mind. You can feel that DPS drop whilst hull is breached. We got crew working on it. Oh yeah, we roll lots in, what's it, the Railjack. Just the very nature of it, the way we move around, causes us to fall out of the horizon, but then it forces us back onto it all the time as well, so it's a little odd. You could see the value of the lock-on there. It was doing everything it could to escape. That fighter was not escaping. It looks like when the reticle crosses another fighter, that's when I lose the lock on. There it was again.
Astral frame integrity preserved. Good job. Return to duty.
That one did a good job of dodging, unfortunately. It still died, and the guns keep going. Oof, that one, again, did a good job of dodging there. That one did not. And we're going to make an updated Railjet guide. The only thing that is updated is the Mark IV turrets. I don't count the Elite crew as an update worth any kind of video mention, I'll be honest. But the only thing, as I say, is changed to Mark IV turrets. You don't need them to complete any amount of Railjet missions. They are merely an extra bonus, a completionist power spike. So a new turret guide is on the agenda, but not with like any particular expediency. No, I'm gonna manual repair that one myself, just because I think I took the crew off it who was working on it.
Crisis averted. Mission continues.
Guess we'll switch to this target.
Fire crew, attention needed.
Oh, we got a fire. Oh no. Damn, that one is dodging. Yeah, there's a little bit on the edge of our effective range there for tracking.
It is done.
Good to know. Look forward to getting some Mark IV Titans. Yeah, we'll be seeing that in the next mission. That's the next weapon comparison, but this has proven pretty nice so far, I gotta say. Spin it around. Hello there, Altu. Have you had a nice break from your triple shift of door stopping? Wasn't even aiming for the weak spots on that one. Just kind of somehow hit them. And with that, we're down to just the cruise ships now. Did we get any Mark IVs from the ships? No. Well, let's see. We have got these cruise ships. They might give us some. Oh yes, very much so, Ellie. Yeah, the so-called interceptor that is the railjack. We don't have the agility of the majority of things in space that we fight. At least the general fighters that come around, they are fast, agile, and plentiful. Yeah, we're faster and more nimble than Grenadier Galleons, Corpers, big ships, whatever. Huh? Why are you two... Oh, wait. Toxin proc. Why are you toxin procced? I'm not using a toxin weapon. Well, that's unexpected. It's just got a permanent toxin proc on it, which in Railjack, if I recall correctly, is basically a radiation proc. Doesn't seem to be doing much. They're shooting each other, that's what it's doing. It turns their guns between themselves, rather than firing loads of volleys at us. Well, if one of them's gonna have... They both have toxin procs. They're not re-upping it on each other, are they? Oh, they might be. This one's just been disabled. So let's see if the toxin fades on this one now. Yeah! Toxin's still here on this one. Oh wait, Toxin's back on that one now. Oh yeah, that one gained its engines back, didn't it? Yeah, okay. Unless I gave these guys a Toxin weapon, but I didn't think they did. What are they using? I don't know. Oh yeah, this is applying Toxin. Yeah, it's my gunners. Okay, never mind, never mind, never mind. I didn't think I'd given them a Toxin weapon. Never mind. I'm so used to having Talon on the sides. So used to that.
Crew ship down.
Blind fire.
Clears up some space. Crew ship down.
Gotta love it when all you have is the UI indication, you still land the kill shot. You can fire like that? Which that? I've done a lot of firing here. Get into position. Because like I could also use the side guns here if this is the one you're on about. Yeah, do that. Boop. The blind fire. Oh, yeah. So it's just that is the angle we can fire in. So I can't actually reach all the way down where I can see here, but I can reach a little bit outside of my view there. So this one is thankfully just within. Kind of blind fire thanks to my Syandana. Yeah, you play enough of this game and you start to know exactly where on the diamond to shoot.
We have one less crew ship to be concerned with.
I'd say maybe I should get a job, but this is literally my job, so, you know. Living the life, as they say. It's not a high-income life, I'll be honest with you. But it's a life. Let's speed up to the ship killer. Let's see, ramp sleds incoming. Stun it. Open fire. Remove that one. We don't want borders today. I think the other one got blown up by my crew. That's good. Let's pop this down under here. And then switch to Bulb as pilot as I exit the ship. There we are. Was Railjack pilot in a previous life? I'm just a fan of sci-fi. I know my way around a spaceship and a space battle. You put space in the name, I immediately gain 2 ranks of proficiency in it. Spaceship, space battle. It's not you, it's me, I just need some space, you know, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Alright. Pop. Head next. Plus 2 proficiency to the spacebar. Hell yeah. Jumpy jump. You've seen my navigational skills in this game.
There it is. Blast that radiator.
Alright, we just gotta wait for the radiator to be popped by the crew. Sorry, excuse me. Sat a little hard in the chair there. There it is, and we're good. Any good stuff along the way? 2 Mark III weapons. Yeah.
Destroy marked components. Ship killer
Is all
platform
good.
offline permanently. Well done. Enemy forces pacified. Ship killer platform neutralized. Mission
Very good.
resolved.
And we got Lobron systems. Huzzah! Don't really care. Vidar engines Mark 1? Vidar engines Mark 1? It what? Mission rewards? Maybe, yeah. I think it was just the ship drops where they get elevated to minimum 3. Earth Proxima? Yes, indeed. Yeah, so if you want to get only Mark 3 stuff, you got to step it up. Oh well. Anyway, having got those dropping just during the mission, we can see at the very least, yeah, it's all cryophons. 3 drops of a cryophon, a little bit unlucky perhaps there, but if I go cryophon MK4, let's see, so the Z key, of which we got 2, that drops from either Outriders or from Exo Gokstad. So we just got that from the Elite Outriders. And because they can only spawn from Elite Exo Gokstads, which don't spawn here, or Elite Outriders, that confirms Elite Outriders can spawn even when it's not a Void Storm. So now we know that for certain. And as for the Levan, that was the Cosmo cruise ship drop. Okay. Because that can't drop from anything else, it is just from cruise ships. Cool. Alright. Confirming various bits of both spawns and drops. That is exactly what we like to see. A game that is working, chat. Oh my god, you love to see it. I have had a weekend of games not wanting to work correctly. That and also a weekend of getting various cleaning chores done. Been putting them off for all too long. Got in some industrial strength earmuffs because my vacuum cleaner, whilst effective, is piercingly loud. So I solved it. Earmuffs suitable for working on a oil refinery, apparently. I'm not working on a refinery, but it's a loud frickin' vacuum cleaner, so fixed. You know, fixed the ear protection. Anyway, enough rambling. Yeah, that was the Carstox Mark III over there. Alright, so APOC Mark IV. APOC is looking pretty darn nice. Z-key. What is the Z-key bonus again? So Z-key is greater burst DPS. Wow. So this is the higher heat accretion APOC. And it had that level of heat accretion. That was so manageable. Oh my god. Ooh, okay. That does bode well. So now, Talon. We can see some comparisons here on the base values. Most notably, the Talon has that better accuracy, better range, apparently even better heat accretion. We'll see how that shapes up with the higher fire rate. The damage per shot goes down, but the fire rate is double, so it should shake out. And then it's got all of that juicy heat status. Juicy heat status. Now, heat works differently here, just like Toxin does. Heat works differently here than it does in normal missions. So let's see. Heat in Railjack, just to confirm. Okay, yeah, it is damage over time, but doesn't have any kind of armor reduction bonus as far as I can see. I also see that heat doesn't stack with a shared timer like it does in normal mode. Heat just has its 6 seconds and then it's done for each proc. Okay. If we compare that to electricity in Railjack, electric Railjack is enemies become stunned and spiral. It's the scramble effect. Cool. cold in Railjack is disables the ship's weapons, slows their speed to a stop for 6. Nice. And the toxin, as we said, is intoxicate, basically turning on friendly fire. Yep. And I think it's the physical ones which gain the other effects. So puncture will reduce shields and armor of the affected target, but with multiplicative stacking, so that's a little bit weird. And then I forget what the other ones do. I don't really care for the others at this point. But yeah, in the dusting bits. Sensible saying, try getting rid of brambles taller than you. Oh yeah, Yeah, I actually have some very problematic bushes in my garden. I've already booked in some gardeners, some professionals to deal with it, because unfortunately I'm a nice solid 5'5" in height, 5'5", and the bushes, I think if I had a clone of me stood on my shoulders, we still wouldn't see over the bushes, which is a problem. Also, someone planted bamboo, which has turned into a problem. Getting in the professionals to bring it back into something I can handle the rest of this summer. Where do you get the Zetki Talon? Let's have a quick look here for you on the drop tables. Talon Mark IV. Zetki Talon Mark IV is dropped from Orm cruise ships, ORM, Orm cruise ship, as a rare 2.5% drop, or it can drop from any variant of Weaver. So long as you're doing Corpus missions and Weavers are spawning, they can drop it 5% of the time. I'd say go for them rather than worrying about the cruise ships, because Corpus cruise ships, you don't get very many spawns. So probably not worth hard focusing on the Orm tier, just go for whichever tier you prefer to play. But yeah, Weavers on any Corpus mission can drop the Zetki Talon Mark IV. Been saying bamboo's a problem that starts when you plant it? Yeah! And what with the recent heat, I've not had the time or energy to deal with the garden to bring it in check, and oh boy did the garden tell me how much it has enjoyed the heat. It might not be enjoying the ensuing drought, but for a while it went, sun! And everything has demonstrated how it can grow in the sun, and I still cannot. It's gonna be a fun one. Oh, true. Yeah, I mean, if I had to deal with kudzu, oh, I'd be moving out. Either that or just... I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the fact that it looks like my my vessel down there has gained glowing pink eyes and face paint. That's yeah. With the way that the logo of my my clan looks there, it's just looking off to the side. All right. Yeah, I've got the Kiss cosplay vessel over there. You're very right there, Brother Oni. Anyway, I said I was going to get distracted, didn't I? Ray saying, pro tip, PVC pipe cutter is amazing for bamboo control. I have a battery-powered hedge and bush trimmer. When I put it near the bamboo ceases to be a plant, it becomes material. Did I equip the Talon? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, so given that we know basically everything that we want can drop here on this planet, we might as well do Sova Strait, where it doesn't even have a boarding objective. By all theory, this should be good for us. Use your sword and like in Minecraft. Look, I'm not taking my sword out into the garden to try and hack down some bamboo. If nothing else, the neighbours might start asking some very odd questions.
We are on their
No, very sensible questions by very odd behaviour. No, the shield. So in case you're wondering about the effectiveness of the Talon, I hope this answers your query. That was an outrider. I gotta shoot around the shield there. The auto lock-on doesn't understand how to shoot around it. I have got NPC crew firing as well with their Carsonox, which is just adding to the devastation here, but like... Let's grab that weapon. Oh, it's a Mark III engine. That'll do. It's a reward. It's 225 endo.
enemy fighters down 50%.
50% already? Goddamn, we are actually kind of tearing into them with this weapon. Oh my god. Lock on correctly, please. Why was that locking onto the front of that ship? Rather than where the ship actually is?
The enemy have called in a cruise ship.
So you see why I put Talon on the side guns normally? It kinda slaps, y'all. That hit scan, instant, assured destruction, where they can't even dodge it properly because it's hit scan. It doesn't matter what little pirouettes they do. You point at them, you hit them. We thought the APOC was doing well. I mean, there's a couple of them where the auto tracking seems to choose a weird spot on them, but otherwise...
We broke them.
There's another Outrider, and just tore it apart. I don't care about your damage reduction, you are dead. And we just got a Carsonox Mark IV! Yes! I will say, it seems a little weird that we can get basically all of the Mark IV from the lowest level mission. But I'm not gonna complain! There we go. Alright, and God, these things are running out of hit points against my crew. The Carsonox pair just tearing into them. Let's help out with a third.
Cruise ship reactor has detonated. Pretty.
Yeah. I mean, granted, these are only level 53 cruise ships. Of course, they are going to run out of hit points against us. It's outside of my firing arc.
Cruise ship eliminated. Focus on remaining targets.
Right, backflip. Oh, wait. Loot. Yes, yes, comms. Cool. What's the other thing we picked up? The purple.
Cruise ship has punched in.
Show me the purple. It's a Vidar Crofon Mark III. Oh, wow. Alright, next thing to blow up. Stun it. Why did I stun it? I can't see now. Yeah, we got Zetki Carsonox Mark IV required. Very nice. The other benefit of being on this level as well is that they don't deploy the healing bubbles, which also act as another fire shield. And they don't just spawn with a shield layer to pop off.
Pretty.
And you still get 7 cruise ship spawns because we're still path, as opposed to the 2 you get on normal mode.
The enemy have reinforced.
No! It's out of my firing arc! Why would you do this to me twice?
Cruise ship
Oh,
eliminated.
I can get this one.
Focus on remaining targets.
Up. Let's see, has that entered the firing arc? No, it's run out of hit points and has become immobilized.
Cruise ship
Okay.
has gone bye-bye.
Shit. Sound effects absolutely necessary, by the way. We are. Marginal Limit saying, I tried to find a pub steel path railjack mission by clicking on the join any open squad button in Proximus. Seems it puts you into non-steel path squads. Oh, well, that's not fun, is it?
Tactics or sound. Resolving mission brief.
That is not fun. Honestly, I'd report that one as a bug.
Multiple bogeys. Man the guns.
If you have it set to steel path and join any squad ignores that setting, that's not a good setting. Especially as that would suggest then if you are trying to join normal mode but was steel path eligible, find any open squad might then put you into steel path when you're not prepared for it. That would be bad. So yeah, I'd say you wouldn't report that one as a bug if you're getting that experience there, Marginal. It might be just on your platform, so when you do report it, do report as well which Proxima you were trying to join on and what platform you're on. Ray saying, that's not a thing anymore. Love the specificity. Normal path porting in steel. Well, Ray, steel ported into normal. So you say it's not a thing, but a thing that we would say shouldn't happen did happen. So why would another thing that shouldn't happen not happen? That's why I'm still saying to Marginal to report it. It's all well and good saying the things that won't happen, except when things do that shouldn't. Throws it into concern. Right, which of the currently built Mark IVs have I not tried yet? How's the heat accretion on talent? Honestly, first of all, don't worry about it. Second of all, really good. But primarily, don't worry about it because once you're at the Mark IV territory, you also should have the intrinsics where you just don't need to worry. You could just reset it. Allow me to demonstrate by turning off my webcam so you can see the full thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see that? Like the amount of time we spend not firing because of reaching max heat is basically nothing because you just press R. But yes, it is in a very good spot there anyway. Yeah, this is why the whole complaint about the heat accretion on rank 10 was only partially valid. Which, by the way, is also a thing that's been removed. Let's return to Dojo. You only found out about that recently? What do you mean you only found out about that recently, Sir Sable? Did you only recently unlock the perk? Or did you do something much worse? Alright, let's dry dock. You had the perk for ages, didn't know how to trigger it. Reloading when weapons are overheated will cool weapons to 0 in 5 seconds. I mean, fair enough, we don't usually reload weapons in Railjack. It doesn't really give you that indication. But it doesn't say pressing reload, which is what you do need to do. When weapon overheats, press reload to cool weapon to 0 in half a second. Interestingly on the gunnery thing as well, this is one that comes up time and time again, is that if you're in the Tunguska cannon seat, the big gun seat, you can switch to the side turret, whether that's Castle Ox, Talon, whatever you've set up the side turrets to be, you can switch to the side turret from the Tunguska cannon spot by pressing, I know, this is going to blow your minds, but seriously, to swap between those weapons, you press the swap weapon button. Truly, the kind of interactions that no one would have thought of. You press F and you swap weapon. But the game doesn't really kind of call out that it's there. It doesn't have any kind of pop-up to let you know that is a thing you can do. So again, it kind of makes sense that people just don't know it's there. This is another one of those instances where the UI really could do with taking up just a little bit of space and go, hey, this is an option. You know? This is an option. But yeah. On the rank 10 perk here, it used to have turret aim will snap to lead indicator for 3 seconds. It used to also have increases overheat by 20%. That got taken away. So now there's no complaint at all for going to rank 10 other than just, oh, it's snapping the Tunguska, which, yeah, it shouldn't do that. It's stupid. But even then, when it existed, you already had access to flushing heat sinks in 0.5, so the heat accretion was nothing. Genuinely nothing. But also makes sense to have just not included a negative for a top tier perk. It's top tier. You shouldn't be gaining negatives. So both camps were stupid. It's a fun one. From Sensible, have a mind specifically trained for the retention of knowledge of no possible consequence, which makes for weird gameplay. Well, fair enough. You know, if that's your life, that's your life. Yep. Just to remind for everyone who's forgotten the rank 10s on these other bits then, just to scroll them all in. Rank 10 tactical, you can't see it because of the camera, but basically it says warp from ship to crew member. You can literally just teleport from person to person. For piloting, Railjack Blink. It's not very good, I'll be very honest. You double tap space to instantly teleport the Railjack forwards, leaving a trail of turbulence that slows nearby enemies. Couldn't care less about the turbulence, and it only seems to teleport you like a kilometer. It's honestly not good, because it also has a cooldown. If it didn't have a cooldown, there'd be more value to it. If it went up to 10 kilometers in the direction you're pointing, or if you could charge it up, I could see the value. But it is basically just a kilometer blink, now wait a while. That doesn't really get you out of anything, it doesn't really get you into anything, so that one does just kind of suck. And yeah, some of the boosting you can do is just far better. Boosting, I feel, is still a bit weird in Railjack, but that's a separate thing. We've done the Gurry one. Engineering, remotely repair onboard hazards. Brilliant. It does still cost your Revelite, however, so NPC crew are better pretty much all the time. You can't remote repair the electricity hazard because it disables the tactical interface you need to use to do that. So that's a fun one. And then for command, rank 10 is elite crewmates. You get access to elite crewmates. Which is why when people ask me, Ken, why have you not updated the crewmate video you did to say how elite crewmates work? It's because you get the final rank of your command intrinsic, the only one that didn't exist when I made that video. You grab that final rank and you go and get elite crewmates. And that's it. But are they any much better? What about the skills and the stats? And, well, yeah, they're better, but, like, you just have the same old stats, but with a couple more points, I think it is. And then they come with a unique perk each. Which I don't know if I can actually see from here. Hold on. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. So this is my elite crew member here, Zyla Bavoko, who has 150% critical chance with rifles. Do you need an entire YouTube guide to tell you that they have these perks? You can look on the wiki for the list of perks if you care to find out the list of them. No one needs a 10-minute video on that. Obtaining them is just how you obtain crew. So that's why I've not covered them in all these years, is because there's honestly nothing to cover. It's less than a YouTube short. It's, hey, welcome back. Did you get crew members? Well, now you can have elite crew members. You head on over to the same place you got your crew, and you click on the same things, but now you pay more, and you get more. Yeah. You could probably just clip that there, and that's the short. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. Cat Keeper saying the crew system is pretty bad. There's nothing you can do. Just wait and see if today the crew shop has a good roll. That's a problem with rotating randomized shops, and I do agree to an extent, yeah. Complete randomization does make for frustration because it invites you to check the shop constantly without the reward of checking the shop constantly. If I pop down there at the moment, what is there? What would I have available to me? Let's see. Do crew trigger galvanized mods? I think they neither trigger nor benefit from it. I think it's no effect. So you want to be using base mods with them. Wrong person. I want to be up here. Hello! Hi, crew. Oh, yeah, there's the elite ones, you can see, because they've got a fancy banner on them, and they are very bloody expensive. I have a piloting gunnery focused with endurance, and plus speed for Levan engines. Honestly, for a pilot, that's pretty much as good as it's going to get, isn't it? Piloting and gunnery with plenty of endurance so they don't just fall over dead if someone boards. Ponza. Or over here, we've got then plus damage with Levan turrets, level 4 in gunnery, but you can put a point into that, I think. Also got some repair, combat, and endurance, but with, yeah, only 1 in piloting, 1 in endurance. The repairing and combat is a backup plan. They're primarily a gunner. Honestly, not a bad choice for it. The plus 50% damage with Levan turrets is a very interesting thing, because it's only Levan. Let me just double check. Levan. Yes, Levan has lower burst DPS and higher status on the majority of the weapons. Very cool. Yeah, a lowest sustain apparently. Yeah. So Levan isn't a particularly good house for the DPS to start with, but a plus 50% damage to it, if indeed that applies, it's just a straight up 50%. It's kind of hard to check because we can't see their numbers. Plus 50% on the burst DPS would actually bring, for example, the Levan Cryophon better than the high burst DPS of the Z key. Just better. So you do get things like that which do create some build choice variation you want to consider. But again, you can just kind of look at it and go, oh yeah, this one is a bonus. Well, there we go. Pretty much. Also, you click and you can see the shields and HP. Yeah, this one's 730 to 2890. This one's even tankier because of those endurance points. Primarily. Cheers, Brother Ronnie. I might not actually use that clip, considering I am using a bit of a sarcastic tone at the moment, but yeah. Another rabbit saying, not a lot of people even know about Elite Crew. If people don't know about Elite Crew, they're not even trying to play Railjack. I'm going to be very honest on this one. I'm going to be very honest. I'm happy to explain various mechanics in videos in general, because this game is opaque. It really is. I am happy to explain various bits, and I'm happy to point out where things are more than a bit unusual in various ways. But when it comes to Elite Crew, the existence of Elite Crew, certainly alongside the existence of normal crew, at that point I have to just say it's a player issue. It really is. You go, huh, intrinsics, these things I've got I can rank up. Tactical, piloting, gunnery, engineering, command. Wow, what does command do? Well, it says right there, put a crew together to man the Railjack. Wow, oh, that's great. And what are the perks for this? Oh, cool, that's what I'm getting. That's nice. Teeny tiny lines of text for every single one, the longest of which is 4 lines of text for one of the most powerful free upgrades you can get in the entire game. And Elite is the rank 10 perk, so it should be the second most visible perk after rank 1, because of course, you read rank 1 first and you go, oh cool, what's the biggest thing then? Stronger crew available from ticker? Yay! So yeah, If someone genuinely wants to play Railjack, is attempting to play Railjack, is doing anything where they care about what they have on Railjack, they should be reading the very things they are unlocking. There are not entire essays here. There is no excuse. Only ignorance. So yeah. You picked up Avena and Latrox and called it a day? Alright. I haven't looked much into those stat values at this point. So I've just got the options I have here. I still dislike that the adversaries are all absolutely useless for Railjack. That's just kind of sad, I'm going to be honest with you. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Nope, never mind. I had some other mind there. It's gone. Right. So we've seen the Talon in action. We have seen the APOC in action. We've seen the Vault in action. And we found yet another Mark IV item to repair Carsonox, which we didn't previously have on the list there. So let us inspect it. 50.5% fire rate as well. That's a pretty darn good one. Excellent. Let's repair it. Get that in the queue. And let's update the commands. Carsonox obtained. So what we're missing now is the Cryophon, the Pulsar, and the Glazior. Now the Glazior we can't get from the Grenadier missions, but Cryophon and Pulsar we can. We have picked up some of those, but they're only rank 3 or Mark 3 so far. In terms of weapon demo, we've just got the Lathe left at the moment, and I think we saw that last time. It's like it's a very heavy, proper heavy sounding weapon. Problem is, it's a slow projectile and one hell of a fall off. At that point, I actually don't care what the theoretical fire rate and DPS is. We have a look at this here compared to the Zetki Talon. Ignore fire rate bonuses thrown because they both go up to 60%. We've got 4184 damage per shot, multiplied by a 2.5 fire rate, multiplied by 1.31 because it's got a 2 times crit damage, 31% crit chance. Let's ignore crit modding for a moment. This here is a nominal DPS of 13,693. The Talon that I have installed is only 576 per shot. The fire rate is, however, 16.67. They were haunting us even then. 16.67. We then multiply that by the 1.16 for the crits ignoring modding, and the DPS comes out to 11,000. So we drop from 13,700 to 11,100. It's a drop. It's not like a crazy drop. 13, 6. Yeah, we lose 19% of the DPS going from Lathe to Talon. 19%. Bear in mind, I am comparing a Levan Lathe to a Zetki Talon, so the Talon is having a DPS boost to compare there. That's a little unfair. But between these two, what I'm currently getting is that. In fact, actually... Oh yeah, this one has lower crit chance, higher damage. Yeah, let's compare Zetki to Zetki. Rerun the numbers. One moment. 5 to 80. 5, 1.24. 16,368. Okay. Yeah, so we're losing actually 32% DPS. The Zetki is a lot more powerful, because they're the burst damage ones. So yeah, 32% DPS. We're losing about a third of it to go for the Talon. But the range increasing to over 4 times, the precision going from a slow-moving projectile to a hit scan hit. I mean, it does the work. Every shot you miss with a Lathe that could have been a hit with a Talon, you're missing out on DPS. And we've seen what the Talon can do. Yeah. I like the Talon. I like my hit scan. It works well. From Ray, small PSA for chat. If you get any rush repair drones, save them to repair components when you have maxed your slots. The drone rewards a component slot if you're at full capacity. Is that only if you're at full capacity? I'm at 30 out of 38. I'm going to burn one just to verify here. I have 2. 30 out of 38. 31, 39. Sorry, Ray, you're incorrect. I burned one just to find out for certain there. But yeah, that would be a very weird mechanic for it to only give you a slot at full capacity. You are either incorrect or out of date on that one. There we go. Rail deck today? Absolutely. Likely out of date? At least I could update you on that one nice and quick. Alright, so, having seen how all of those work, we've done the Lathe on a previous one, I'm going to go with just stick with the Talon. Honestly, the Talon is slapping right now. Actually slapping, so I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to fight alongside it. Right then, yeah, we said Cyber Stream was 1, that's fine. You're fairly sure you used to do that? Fair enough, Brother Ronnie, fair enough. Honestly, it's possible that it was unintended in the first place, that they kind of put it in there as a, oh, well, I mean, you can't use a rush repair drone if you haven't got the slots. And then they just kind of went, oh, yeah, that's actually a bit weird that it only works that way when you're full.
Look alive.
Let's fix that. Because I think you can buy the rush drones outright for plat, can't you? I might be wrong on that, but I feel like I remember reading something like it. God, I'm just tearing through them. You can for 20? Alright. So yeah. If the rush drone didn't give you a slot, unless you already had maxed out, and you're paying for the drone, then you're not getting the whole drone. Oh, now we got someone saying, people saying they were removed from the market. Good lord. Welcome to, up-to-date information. We don't have it here. Someone's wrong, and I don't know who. I had to check, but I don't want it right now. I'm in a mission. Love that animation. Breaks if you roll. Oh, I didn't notice that turret had been shot out. No! I was confused why it didn't die there, but yeah, my crew had shot the turret. Sorry, shot the engine out. Doesn't matter normally, matters on Steel Path.
Focus on remaining targets. I am seeing a lot of fighter shrapnel. Pilot morale destabilizing. Continue.
You know, if it weren't for the red diamonds indicating where these targets are, these damage numbers will be getting in the way so fast for those long-range shots. Yeah, even without using the auto-aim, like, because it's a hit-scan weapon, we don't need to worry about tracking each individually, and it is just point, click, hold, win. This is the power of the Talon. Instant feedback on if you're accurate or not, because hit-scan. You adjust, you hit. You win.
Enemy cruise ship has arrived. They are powering weapons.
Oh, there's another drop over there. We'll grab that in a sec. Did somebody just spawn in the spot I killed something? I think it did. Huh. Let's see, what do we get? Carcinox Mark III, done.
Are being called off. Excellent.
Oh yeah, we have absolutely torn through these fighters. This Talon is absolutely it. Cannot recommend enough if you want a main gun. I have got modding here to enhance my DPS, don't forget. I am well modded for gunnery right now. Boop. And that was my only charge, because the cheap shot, 60%, keeps on evading me. I feel like this doesn't happen normally.
Situation evolving.
Did DE do something to the cheap shot by accident? Does forward artillery damage modding matter? Null mode, no. You just hit the correct spot. Steel path, yes. It can help secure that kill, especially when this happens.
Has gone bye-bye.
Come on, let's glitch it through. Oh, I think I stunned it a little too early. This probably won't be a kill. No! Alright. What's the name again? Name of what, sorry? Mark III. Dark. Yeah, there's no way they accidentally turned it into a 6% instead of 60%, did they? Flap. Hold up.
Ship reactor has detonated.
That's 5 shots in a row. Again. I'm getting a little obsessed and need to test that. Let's line up where I can get both cruise ships in LOS. There we go. This shall handle. Who's Mark and why are we buying turrets from him? Oh no, we're not buying turrets. It's the office Mark is running for. Here we got John for mayor, Alan for president, and Mark for turrets.
We have one less cruise ship to be concerned with.
Honestly, I thought that was obvious from the title, but I mean, yeah.
We have company. Premier cruise ship on scope. Cruise ship down. That clears up.
You just checked cheap shot mod in Plexus.
Enemy forces.
I think it says 60% there, because we were there moments ago.
Closing mission. Next.
That mod has not been Pabloed. I don't know what this item is. I don't think it's anything I need. I'm going to grab it because it is there. So nice the game to tell me what I just got. Okay, cool, right, well... Thanks, I guess. Oh, yeah, no, let's not do that really, just yet. Let's do a little bit of science, shall we? First of all, how many materials have I got here? I've got enough to do 12 of these reloads. Okay. So with 12 of these reloads, giving +1 a time, how many dome charges can I fire here? Would that be accessible? We'll have 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 16. I would have 129 shots I could fire here. Not counting any cheap shots kicking in. So we could take a hot moment to test this. How many shots can I actually fire that gets that effect? Let's just track successes and not. So that was a failure. Failure. And Chalk, so you've been playing on Steel Path or normal mode? Success. Success. Failure. Nope, wrong buttons. Need you to teleport there. Which will give the engineer crew to refill forward artillery. Honestly, engineers not just using these in general is kind of weird when you think about it. It is kind of weird that they just don't have a means to do it. Engineers or defenders. Like if the defender was a defender and forge, an engineer was repairs and defense. To have them intermittently go around, and if they had a higher rank in supports, then they would utilize the stuff more frequently. They wouldn't put it onto cooldown because it's an NPC doing it. It would just be a good idea not to put it on cooldown. Although, honestly, not the end of the world if they did put it on cooldown, because there's 4 things. And just have it hard-coded, they never use the 4th one. Honestly, that would work. That would work for me. Oh well. Alright, let's keep going. Wrong button again. So many buttons. What is going on? So currently I'm testing the artillery cheap shot because I think it's broken. So the best way to verify if it's broken or not is to use it. That one failed. I spent a shot. Spent a shot. Saved a shot. Saved a shot. Okay. Getting a few activations here. Saved a shot. We've just got 3 free shots in a row. Spent. Saved. 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 What's sample size going to be out of curiosity? When I decide I'm bored of testing. Saved. And because all shots are supposed to be independent, it doesn't matter if I save or not on affecting the next one. So each of these is just expanding the sample size a lot here. And failed. There we go. So currently that puts us at 17 shots from 8. So far, so good. Man, have I really been just that unlucky that many times over? Alright. Let's give us another 6 of these. Theoretically, we should be getting quite a few shots out of that. Ray saying, I've got a concern that perhaps it may follow the same pattern since you went back-to-back missions with your first 5 not triggering. Maybe. Maybe they've broken the seed and it's happened to break on a bad seed. That would be really unfortunate. Alright, so that one failed. That one succeeded. Man, there's some alien far off in the distance there going to have a really, really bad day in about 20 million years. That one failed. That one failed. Success. Fail. Success. 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 Success again. Failure. And what might be the final shot, we're about to find out. Nope, that was a success. We fire again. And failure. There we are. Malice is saying, reminds me of Mass Effect 2, where an NPC says that a missed shot in space will eventually hit something, even if it takes a million years or so. Fun fact, not technically true. Fun fact, it is possible, although vanishingly unlikely for anything in the human experience, but it is vanishingly possible for something to end up in such a situation where it will never interact with anything else ever again unless that something else comes to interact with it. And the reason for this is one of the most curious aspects of our entire universe, that space is expanding. You get yourself into deep enough space with a slow enough velocity, the space around you will be expanding over the sheer distance you are away from everything enough that the distance between everything around you is increasing faster than the speed at which you are traveling. It is also surmised as one possible issue of the universe, ultra long-term, billions of years issue. God will have to deal with it. One possible issue is that with the continued expansion of the universe and all space around it, eventually everything will be just so far away, and thus the expansion so extreme that everything redshifts into nothingness except what is locally connected by gravity. That everything else is just gone, unreachable even by light forever. Now that is a curiosity. Is this why the aliens didn't visit us yet? I mean, it could well be part of it. Like, no flippancy involved. It could well be part of it that by the time something figures out how to get somewhere, it's too late. The bridges are gone. So yeah. Space can become so vast, the distances from you to where you're going so great, that the rate of inflation of the universe is faster than your ability to get there. Now that is wild. Alright, so I fired a total of 30 shots. This isn't a very great sample size, but it does give us a little bit of a breakdown as to what is happening. So let's see, in those 30 shots, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 refunds. Well, 56.6%. 56.7, sorry. 56.6 recurring. Point is, that is very nearly 60%, and so with a sample size of 30 at the moment, the indication is there is not a bug. We would have to believe that we got unusually far from expected results to happen across a result that is close to what we were expecting from modding. But there is what Ray said. What if it is to do with the seed? I don't think it is. I feel like we'd notice if everyone was always failing the first 5 shots.
What you have learned here will serve you well.
But it's a curious thought and one we can quickly test, because to fail 5 in a row is a 1% chance. Approximately. Yeah. Jennifer saying, given that we're so young relatively to the age of the universe, maybe we're the first ones to become a spacefaring race. I mean, we're not really a spacefaring race just yet. We've dipped our metaphorical toes into space. We're not really spacefaring. We haven't got a single human, not one, out of even the gravity well of Earth and its satellite. We got a few people to the moon, and that's it. We're not spacefaring. We are space adjacent. Yeah. Risk saying there's free flights on Earth, so you don't have to worry about completing the mission. Or I could just complete the mission, farm the stuff I'm here for as well, Ray. You know? I could do two things at once on this one. No, the idea that we may be the first ones to become a spacefaring race, or just even a highly intelligent race, I mean, in itself, we simply don't have enough information. We simply don't have enough information because, well, we have one singular data point, Earth. We can look at various things which are in our favour. For example, our extremely stable star, our extremely stable orbit. We can have a look at our weirdly outsized satellite in the form of the moon, which enables us to have these consistent tides with an effect that is happening on a pretty significant scale, but not so much as to completely wipe out large chunks of land every day. Tides are crucial to the development of life on Earth. What's that? No, Mercury. Okay. Life as we know it has so much to thank for the tides. We can also look at our nearby neighborhood in space, how we're in a very sparse area in our galaxy, which means there's very few things exploding. And as it turns out, this might be a little bit of a news to y'all, but as it turns out, stars exploding nearby is a bad thing for life. Big ol' fusion reactor go boom, not healthy. Who knew? So living in a region of space that would be near to lots of unfathomably large fusion reactors coughing out of existence. Yeah, living in such space would be bad. And we don't. So yeah, the old where are the aliens? Part of it could be they keep on trying to happen and the slate keeps getting wiped. One of the theories, unproved at this point, it's merely a hypothesis, but one of the theories for the, I think, Devonian extinction, look it up if you want to know more, the Devonian extinction millions and millions of years ago, one of the theories for how that could have happened was a star exploding. The theory so being, oh, that first shot was a failure, let's just keep track of that.
Scratch one cruise ship.
So, if a sufficiently large star, sufficiently close to us, exploded such as to bathe the Earth in bad radiation, second shot failed, then that could have been the cause, or at least a driving factor, of a mass extinction event here on Earth. The problem is that we don't stay in the same spot in our galaxy with respect to all of the stars. Everything is in this constant dance in different directions. So finding which star those hundreds of millions of years ago could have wiped out most of the life on Earth is good luck, because, you know, the star's already dead and we don't know which way it would have come from, if even true. But it is a possible theory. That also failed. 3 in a row. I'm just going to fire 2 shots right here, right now, and see what happens to him. That one was a success. Okay. Fail, 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 success on the cheap shot there. So that wipes out the seed theory, at least based on returning to dry dock and back. But I did notice a star. Ooh! Oh, it's a photon. We've already got a photon, but still another Mark IV. Yeah, I've still got 6 charges as my max, and maybe I need to do a hard reset. Oh! Wait, electrical hazard in a grenade mission? That's rare.
Pretty.
Where is it? You on it? You got it? Yeah, you got it. Alright, cool. We're gonna need repairs. That has us absolutely
Skies are clear of
scuppered.
fire cover. Electrical hazards.
Boop.
grounded.
There we are. Yeah, we just have no real information as to why there's nothing else showing signs of life out there. Another Mark IV photo, okay. Add it to the pile. I've got 2 different flavors of them at least. But it could well be that life just hasn't had a chance elsewhere to get far enough. My honest recommendation, don't think about it too much. We don't have the means to gather the evidence on that. And certainly don't make it part of whatever religion you like. It's probably not for the best.
Cruise ship has gone bye-bye.
Huh, that one looked like it spawned out of the one I just shot.
Cruise
Let's
ship
kill it.
down. That clears up
Now,
space.
I recall from a Kurzgesagt video. Kurzgesagt, for those of you who may not have come across it, is a education and interest channel which does all of its videos via very cutesy animations, often involving birds. There was a Kurzgesagt video, not so much on the great filters, no, Macho Mouse. No need to preempt on that. As Kurzgesagt video on, I believe it was basically just about DNA. And this was tying back to how, over the many millions of years of evolution on Earth, DNA has largely become longer and more complex across species. But the thing is that as much as they can track that back and see how there is this closing curve over the ancient past, as it were, my understanding is that the curve doesn't correctly zero out with the age of the Earth, or the age of life on Earth. It seems to have an elevated starting point as it enters into that curve. Basically to say that unless there is some difference in the process that isn't clear yet to historical biology, it would suggest that life had a way to get started before it was on Earth. And so the theory goes, the hypothesis goes, well, hang about. What if life doesn't just evolve in ideal conditions like here on Earth or whatnot? What if it is constantly just everywhere, the various materials coming together, and inevitably some of these start to chain into what we consider life at various speeds, various processes, and loads of resets? And so cast right the way back in the history of the universe to when it was a lot hotter. We all know space is cold. Space is very, 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 very cold. But it didn't used to always be so cold, is the point that they went into there. It didn't always used to be so cold because the universe used to be smaller. We are aware of the cosmic background microwave radiation and various bits and pieces of just general ambient radiation, which make up the temperature of the universe. And for that brief moment at the very start of the universe, as far as we understand it, the temperature was insanely hot, blisteringly hot, too hot for things to do anything other than just whiz around as microparticles. In between that, from blisteringly hot to frozen cold, is a midpoint or mid-zone where water could happen everywhere. Where the temperature of space would be suitable for life. Try to conceive of that for a moment. The temperature of space at one point was suitable for life, as we know it. that every single rock, every pebble, every cluster of anything that wouldn't just smush the molecules into nothingness or sear them on the surface of a star, anywhere things were relatively stable, nowhere near a star, didn't need one, could still be just warm enough to be Earth-like in habitat. To have this ambient temperature. Say, imagine Pluto, the entire planet, so far from the sun that the sun almost doesn't matter, but the entirety of Pluto just cozy Earth warm. If the entire universe had that opportunity to be merely warm at a time where, and this is an if not confirmed, if there was that temperature at a time where there were the available elements and molecules to do the combinations and to get things going, the very seeds of opportunity multiplied by the scale of space could have been everywhere. And it only takes those seeds to make their way to somewhere that then becomes stable, like Earth became, to then go on and continue scaling into what we have today. So as much as there are the concerns of great filters, of supernovae wiping out entire planets and whatnot, there is also the other side where the conditions for life may not have been as rare as we consider them today in the far past. Who really knows just how many it would be? Matchmail saying, wouldn't the planets and big rocks be too hot to handle life? Not necessarily. Not necessarily at all, no. The heat that we have on Earth is primarily from the sun. On the surface of Earth, it's primarily from the sun. If the sun were to go out now, firstly, it would take us a few minutes to realise, oh shit, we're fucked. And then after those few minutes, the Earth would start to cool down. Slowly but surely, the surface of the Earth would start to cool down until it would reach pretty much space temperatures. As much as we have geothermal heat, we also have a big old insulating layer of rock. That means the majority of areas don't really feel that geothermal heat. So, I don't believe that rocky planets, at least, would have enough surface heat to make the ambient heat of space too problematic. And the thing is, even if it were too problematic at one point, we go, oh no, life could only develop on asteroids, not the rocky planets. The rocky planets have too much mass. They're holding on to too much heat, or whatever reason you might give. Okay, well, wait then. Because later on, space was cooler. And there will have to be a point where a planet goes from too hot to too cold. Somewhere in between, there has to be a neither too hot or too cold. Logically, that has to exist. Now, if other factors that are quote-unquote necessary for life happen to line up, the right materials, the right fluids, the right length of time for things to happen, we don't know. That is why it's simply a almost more of a thought experiment than a hypothesis, but it puts it out there that space didn't have to always be hostile to life getting a chance. Who knows where it really got started? Yeah. It kind of blew my mind when I watched it as well, first of all. I was like, how did this not occur to me? How did it not occur to me that, yeah, there was, at one point, space was stupid hot, and now space is frigid? I mean, that has to be a continuous line. Whatever shape that graph takes, it has to pass through every number in between. That's how it works. So yeah, maybe we are the only or one of exceedingly few planets in the entire universe to have such advanced life as to create actual visible civilizations. To reach out into space with intent. Maybe. As it stands, we have no point of data that we can refer to say one way or the other. literally nothing, and that drives us insane as a species. We just don't know. But for every negative we can see, and by howdy does space have a lot of negatives out there, there are things that say, but you just wait. You never quite know. There might yet be something. Whether we'll see it in our lifetimes, Now that, I'm not holding out hope for. Let's face it, it's not happened in all of the lifetimes of every human that came before me. What hubris to believe it will happen in my lifetime. By all actuarial tables, I'm already a third of the way through it, so I mean, you know. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Did I reset correctly? Am I down to 3 charges?
Look alive.
Show me the UI, come on. Sorry, yeah, 2 charges. 2 charges where we start. So, do I fire both of them and not get cheap shot? No cheap shot. Firing next. I don't care what I'm shooting at. I can shoot this guy here. No cheap shot. Okay. I was confused for a moment because I was on the wrong menu. I've not actually done enough of the mission to build more dome charges. Whoopsie doops. Got to actually play the game. Can't just test things. I think that might be enough. Just take a little bit of a flight around. That should have given me the bits. Take out a couple of ships as I can. Right. That hopefully is enough for me to build a dome charge. There we go. Oh, wrong seat. What gun am I using on the pilot seat? That was Talon up front there. Talon. Okay. Cheap shot test 3. Nope. Get out of my face with those mines. Ugh. Cheap shot 4. Success. Okay. Well, I keep getting unlucky at the start so far. And that's a fail again. Interesting. I'm just going to fire the last one just because I can now. And a fail. Yeah. That was fail, 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 success, fail, fail. Which isn't the same as missing every single one, but it's still pretty bad at the start there. A little weird that that keeps happening. But again, RNG is such that things can just go poorly multiple times over. You can defeat the odds in ways that feel ridiculous because we're defeating the odds in everything we always and ever do where there are odds involved. Odds are like that. You just only notice when things feel unusual because the usual just happens so often. Is it still 60%? Yeah, it's still 60%. Yeah. Or at least it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Tested earlier, fired 30 shots, and 17 of them were indeed cheap shotted. So it is working. The other question was, is it working in spite of the bad seeds that were all being fed? But at this point, not enough evidence to say what's really going on with it. Racy, casting your look on the Mecha Chameleon the other day of how I hit on the barn door. Hey, that wasn't luck, that was skill. That painting was skill. You heard the absolute glazing I was getting with that. The artiste I was being sold as. I'll be honest, I was just mimicking what was next to me. There's not really much artistry in copying, but the look at the one shot missing? Okay, yeah, that I did get lucky with that, but yeah. Oh yeah, I fired all of my artillery shots, didn't I? In testing. Let me go make some more real quick. Do I have a recommendation for farming Zetki Talon since there are no Corpus Skirmish? I would say, honestly, just pick your favorite out of the Corpus modes, preferably a quick one. Because I think it's the Weavers that drop the one you're looking for, Zetki Talon. And it doesn't matter which of the Corpus missions you're on then, Weavers can just spawn in any of them. Doesn't matter the quality of the Weaver, it's just the Weavers. So what you're probably best off with then is a mission that has otherwise as little as possible for you to do. So the lowest level mission with the most brain dead quick objective once you're on the Corpus ship, that's what you want. Exterminates and spy missions are going to be good for that, because you can get those done very quick after the fact. Spy missions if you're in a group of 3 especially, because, you know, split up 1 person per vault. Otherwise, exterminate should probably be pretty quick, even though it's still path. Yeah, so far that seems to be the winning strat. Boom, indeed. Where's the next cruise ship? Where's the next cruise ship? I know the fighters are going down. Where's the cruise ship? Come on, show yourself. There you are. And through my head, I get the shot.
Cruise ship reactor has detonated.
Seen advice about doing volatile, not completing objective. True, yes, I never actually explored that strategy, but that might be the way. You're very right, Certible. I've not actually looked into that as thoroughly yet, but you might be right. The other thing, actually, on that note, is that even if it does stop the spawning there, you don't actually have to complete the Corpus missions if you don't want any of the other rewards. If all you care about is the weapon drop, and you complete everything until the actual boarding bit, just cancel the mission, restart. Why do the rest of the mission if it didn't give you the thing? It is faster to just reload. But yeah, if the volatile one does indeed have the endless spawns, then that'll be the way to go. I think I had one such mission, I just didn't put 2 and 2 together for that, now I think about it. I'm gonna have to bear that in mind. We'll see if I remember it this time when I come to it next. Boop. And for my last trick, 3, 2, 1. Boop. Alright, Tom. Hello. Enjoy saving your data. Have a good trip. But also, hello. There we are. What do we get on that run then? We got a Mark III shield array, a Mark III reactor, and a partridge and a pear tree. Not what I was looking for. Anyone want a partridge? It's pre-roasted. I put it in the engine compartment. Did not go well for it.
Surviving Grenier will spread the word. Mission resolved.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the Corpus one. We're not farming... Well, there is a Corpus item I still need, so let's head on over to the Exterminate one real quick. And let's see if the fighters do endlessly spawn with Weavers. Weavers, I believe, are the big juicer on this. Let me just check the drop tables again. If I go Mark IV in general... let's see here. So...
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Okay, so 11 Glacios only from cruise ships. Vital Glacios only from cruise ships. Apox, not what we're looking for. 11 Lathe is cruise ships. Cruise ships. Relevant. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. It's going to be an easier way of looking up this. Okay, if I just go to the Weaver table. Weaver table has the guns. Glacio, Lathe, Vort, and Talon. They're all Z key on the Mark II. So if I go Z key, Glacio, Mark IV. All the Weavers, yep. In fact, at this point, I'm probably better off going Elite, Orm, Oops, I mistyped it. My bad. Sorry, chat. Elite Orm Weaver.
We used to
Oh
pass
God,
the
what are these
time
drop
with spent
tables?
ammo casings.
Oh God.
Sometimes I'll decap around just to get a whiff of musky Fortnite.
Oh, wait, here we go. Elite Orm Weaver is Zetki Vort Mark IV. Zetki Lath Mark III. No, I wanted Mark IVs. I need to put in the extra details. Level 71. There we go. That narrowed it right the way down. Yeah, Zetki Glazio. Zetki Talon. Zetki Lath. And show me the Vort. Zetki Fort. Yep. So the Weavers do drop all of the Zetkis. You don't get the other houses from them, but they always give you the Zetkis. How'd that make a Windows noise? So when I hit Control F and start typing, if I type something that doesn't come up in the search, then it goes, boom, there's not one there. That's all that's happening.
I still hear them calling us to obey.
There you are. Fair enough, go to the Icon. Have a look into it. Alright, let's load this in, see what we get going on. What is that? Something funky. Okay.
All corpus craft.
Who's that? That is a Weaver? That's a Weaver. So these are what we're looking for. Those spinny boys. And I've got a couple of them already. Spinny boys can drop you the Z keys on any corpus mission. Like that Reactor Mark III. Not what I was wanting, but it shows they do have drops. Now, it's not a guaranteed drop, and all the other NPCs, aside from cruise ships, are basically pointless to you for this. Priority target is the security nodes. I'm going to just ignore them and see if I'm allowed to just shoot stuff forever. Let's just deal with this cruise ship real quick. Cruise ship destroyed, and we've been boarded because I sat still for too long. Oops.
We have a fire.
I don't know why my crewman's giving me advice as I run past them shooting enemies, but whatever. There we are. What's the weak point on Corpus cruise ships? Did some studying into that, and it appears to be a glowing spot, a very small glowing spot, at the very top of the back of the cruise ship. But boarding them is usually faster, certainly on the higher level missions. Weaver! Well, that's Vegas. No. Yep, spawning in new stuff. Very good. Now the Weaver. And they fall apart nice and quickly. What do we get there? Engines, unfortunately. New spawn? Yep, there we go. Yeah, I think the cruise ships don't spawn endlessly, so if you're looking for a cruise ship drop, which is going to be the Levan and Vidar, I think, then it is just a case of load in, shoot the cruise ship. I think usually 2 spawn, and then if you don't get it, reload. But for the Z key, you can just keep farming. Just keep farming. Taking out the Bazzi.
Launch ram sleds. Kill them.
Not the only game where it's very important to take out the Bazzies, but they don't quite operate the same here as they do in others. Weaver. Weaver. We're getting quite a few Weaver spawns here. That's actually real nice. What the heck is that? Oh, it's a ram sled. Okay. Yeah, God, it's a U2.
Gunnery crews. Launch torpedoes.
Another one out. That is bright. And I can't interact with it. I'm shooting that, I think, through the shield somehow. But not very strongly. If I get around the side of it, it's a lot better. Yeah, there we are. I hear a fighter. There they are. We have the Tower Harpy, Weaver, Gox, and Bazzy. Full spectrum spawn. Oh, I was hoping that would cause it to spin out, not just sit still. There we are. Yeah, I'll be honest, when it comes to Corpus cruise ships, your best answer is just go inside. Because you go inside, you tap 3 panels, the bit at the bottom raises up slowly, you shoot the middle of it, and then it's dead.
Target in
The
range.
Tunguska cannon can work, but I found their weak spots so far to be a bit more finicky. If it's all if it's all workable. It's not like the Grenadier ones at all. Alright. Drop so far, we've had a bunch of Mark III items. So at the very least, if you just want to farm your Mark IIIs, we're getting plenty of that Zetki stuff. It's all the rest that'll be a pain in the ass to get. Although I think all the other bits you should be able to just farm from the Grenadier missions anyway. Oh yeah, my crew are shooting the security nodes. They've taken out 3 of them so far. They keep on paying attention to those when there's no fighters to shoot at. The Grenadier ships do have a weak spot on them, Chock, and it does matter on Steel Path because of the sheer increase of hit points. All the years that I'd said, oh, the weak spot isn't really an issue, you don't need to worry about it, it's because you can pretty much zero effort one-shots up to about level 40. And that was about the level content went up to. Once you hit level 50, you start to notice various gameplay factors coming in. So for example, if your ship is reduced to 0 hit points, it's on catastrophic failure imminent, you get a reduction in your damage output. Both turrets and main gun.
Arming torpedoes, locking onto their
With the cruise ships,
signature
if the engines are shot out,
firing.
then it is possible to hit a 0 damage shot, specifically on the central engine. I think was the case there. If I recall correctly, the other engines didn't suffer. It was the central one, which I've never told people to shoot. And then once you add on the Steel Path modifier as well, it's very possible to get just the right combination of things going wrong that you just don't land a one shot at all. Yeah, you can get 0 damage in normal railjack, absolutely. It requires you to aim at the wrong spot of the Grenadier cruise ship. Ooh, Zetki Leif Mark IV. We already have Leif Mark IVs, but hey, we'll take another. Yeah, it's only possible by aiming at the wrong spot. The spot I've been telling people for years is not the spot to aim at. Because that one spot is what becomes 0 damage when the engine is shot out. And I think it's a bug, honestly. Railjack and a bug, I know. Weird, but it's true. It can happen. Railjack can have bugs as well. Yo, Caljade! Thank you very much for dropping this up here. You're up onto 2 whole years of support. Thank you very much. That has brought you up to a lovely bronze teapot. Much appreciated. So Gox, Harpy, Weaver. What I'd say the drop rate is on these Weavers, it was like 5%. Yeah, 5% for each of the guns, which means it's a 20% in total, I think? Oh wait, no, wait. This might be 2 stats stacked together. Hold on a second. Let's see, Zetkeet, Leith Mark IV. Zetki Lathe Mark 4. Oh, sorry, I misspelled. And it got angry at me for doing that. Yeah, drop some cruise ship. Elite Orm Weaver, there we go. No, it's not a 5%. My bad, I didn't take into account the item drop chance. It's a 1%. So 1 in 25 Weavers will drop one of the Mark 4 turrets. 1 in 100 if you're looking for a specific one. And that includes the Talon. So an average of 100 Weaver kills. And I am on 17 so far this mission. Which is not terrible, but yeah. Oh, don't worry, Chop. Don't worry. I only very recently learned how people were actually zero damaging the cruise ships. Because for ages people have been telling me, oh, I get zero damages, things go wrong, shooting up the engines is causing things to go wrong, it's a bug. I'm like, every single time I try to recreate this, I kill the cruise ship. Every single time without a fail. I don't know what people were doing wrong. Port drop! Until eventually, I came across an example of someone shooting at it wrong and doing zero damage. And I tried that strategy of shooting the wrong part of the ship only when that engine had been knocked out. And then and only then could I get a zero damage, and I could recreate every single time. Which is weird because when you think about it, it looks like it should be a weak spot. It's a big old glowing spot which takes extra damage. That's a weak spot. A weak spot being destroyed, leading to, oops, sorry, you can't damage this thing now, makes absolutely no sense. So in fairness to everyone who's ever fallen for that, yeah, the game is being a dick to you. You might be fine for a while. I mean, I've been in this mission not even 15 minutes, and I have now 21 Weaver kills. So we're nearly at the point where I would have expected a Mark 4 drop. And what do you know? I have 2 of them. Streamer luck is real. But yeah, I'm actually above the odds there to have 2 of them. We're coming up on expected rate for 1 drop. But this is showing that the fighters were just spawning in groups of 4. Fighters came in 4x4, hurrah, hurrah. And now I've said it, they are gone, hurrah. Huh? Yeah, why have the fighters stopped?
Arming torpedoes, locking on to their signature.
If I take out a security node, will that lead to new fighters? Now I've technically done something to the objective? Maybe I have found the limit of fighter spawns. Maybe that is as many as it wants to give us. Let's see. Well, that is the limit on fighter spawns. Still, we got quite a few there. So you do this 4 times over, which would take you about an hour, not counting the, if you actually ran the rest of the mission. If you do this about 4 times over, you'll have it. And the thing is, I don't need to run the rest of the mission from here. If I didn't want these 2, and I already have these 2, so technically I don't. If I don't want these 2, I could just leave the mission right now. Or you can go into the derelict, you can get the loot from there, and then you go through and you go do the thing over this way. Now. Only saying it makes sense if you completely destroyed a section of damaging it further has no effect on ship integrity. To an extent, yes. The point is that if you can hit that part of the ship strong enough to kill it, and you've hit it to the point where it can take no more damage, then logically you've hit it with enough damage that it should have killed it. Oh, hey! There we go. There was a trigger over here. There we go. I just had to get closer to the corpus ship, the big one. So yeah, you see these glowy yellow engine-y bits here? supposedly this spot right between the three, that is supposedly the weak spot. You'll notice the engine can be popped out by things shooting at it. But if we aim right here, apparently this is the kill spot. And as much as that kills it here, this is a low-level Corpus mission, so I can't be certain. Is the unfortunate truth. I can't be certain. My crew are also firing at it, and I think they're firing with puncture. Let's see. Can I see status effects on anything? I don't think these take status effects, so the answer will be here. No. Yeah, we can't see the status effects here. I'll have to look at something else, but I think they're firing with puncture toxin. I think that's what Carcinox is. And puncture makes ships more vulnerable to damage. So honestly, the answer could just be having a turret gunner weaken the cruise ship as you go to shoot at it. That might actually just be the correct way in this case. So Carcinox on side guns. Because then you can also use it using the big gun. It's like I can just go in here. Imagine this was a cruise ship in front of me. I'd go and then charge up the shot and hope I get there in time. Yeah. Which rail deck steering setting do I use? I don't know. I'm sure there are options, but I don't really think about them. A railjack, no invert on X or Y, 13 sensitivity, not pilot-centered crosshair, and it looks like all of that is default. And if there's another setting you're needing, I'm going to need that specificity.
Lotus will take it from here. Good luck.
Alright then, let's go eliminate some targets, shall we? We all know this is a very hard mission to do. Like, no way you could do this one in any kind of speed. Honestly, the fact that anyone even tries these missions is suicide, because look how difficult they are. It is a miracle we can even complete these. Might as well go back to EDA and use a Mark 1 Bratton.
If those Tenno are not eliminated,
I've taken this bit far enough.
for anyone.
I don't think these guys are worrying about the bonuses, mate. They're worrying about just being dead. There's a guy in there. Is that enough to kill him? Probably not. Let's send this as well. Oh, it's an Xmas. Okay. I was wondering. How do I manage to handle that? I don't really understand the question. Sorry, Chuck. I don't know your personal experience to know what you're struggling with. I just fly the railjack. I'll be very honest with you, I just learn the controls and I do it. But then I'm also the kind of weird person who played Rocket League exclusively on keyboard and mouse, so I'm told that is actually heresy to do it for so long. I saw the extraction symbol, I got excited for a moment. No, I'm only halfway done. The turning feels so hard, can't aim. Console is just you tilt the stick, the rail deck turns. Not sure what to tell you, sorry. Not sure what to tell you. I'll get back to the railjack in a moment and demonstrate, I guess. Just general flight. Nice that guy to give me a little game of whack-a-mole. Just pops up. Oh no, Worm! I've studied AoE damage for too long. Worm doesn't tank as well as Lavos, as might be a surprise to literally no one. Unfortunately does impact my fire rate for a moment. Only a moment though, because I kill enough things and it comes back. There we go. You just don't get how... sorry, you don't get used to how moving the mouse affects both your aim, spot, and tilt. I'll show you what it looks like in a moment from me. There we are. There's my ship.
No muss, no fuss. Tagging vessel for salvage.
So back out of that.
Corridor. Take fire.
Intentionally do a backflip out of it, because we can. Yeah, it's like, I want to be over here, and I want to be over there. Let's look over this way, and look down again. Gonna do a orbiting shot on this. Oh. Not allowed to orbit that quickly as I do it, apparently. It's getting closer. I'm gonna drill to the heart of this thing, whatever this bit of scenery is. And then we come off of that, come over here. I just have the control of it, really. Come out of the boost to get the boosted speed again. The boosted speed, when you launch yourself into it with that double tap, it falls off after a couple seconds. It just feels weird. And yeah, the rotation is there. It's just, I ignore it. Because it's rotating around the forward view normally, when I'm moving, it's not really an issue. And if I'm letting go of the moving controls, I'm either actively aiming, or I'm getting out of the seat. And moving in 3 dimensions, I can feel myself physically moving my body to match, by the way. I really get into the method of it. But moving in 3 dimensions in games, to me, is just kind of... I've just gotten so used to it. The space games especially, I've gotten so used to it. So the fact that it rolls me back around to flat is something that is actually more of a negative. Because I can handle being off-axis just fine. There isn't an up in space. There is an up when we're around a planet, I suppose, but we're supposed to be in orbit of it, right? So yeah, I'm not sure what to suggest or say as to what about it is not okay for you. But like, moving and drawing lines on this thing is fine for me. I just kind of feel where I'm going. It's a mix of aim and turn that trips you up. Well, that's the thing, is that, say I want to aim to this, I aim, and I just follow it back. I just backtrack. I want this as my central aim. There we go. It's putting the ship to look at it. That is my aim. As if I have fixed angle guns. If I'm not moving, I can aim briefly that way, but yeah, it's just... That's where I want to be traveling and aiming. I'm just used to that. Yeah, can't really add anything else to that, sorry. It is something that one either gets used to or one dislikes. So let's see, what is the setting you're using then? You go for, you said, not pilot-centered crosshair. Oh. So yeah, that just locks you in like that. Oh god, I'm feeling that fighting me, actually. That is jerky. Let's see, if I move... Yeah, if I move my mouse, but not continuously, it just stops. Ah, oh god, that's horrible. Ah, ugh. Not a fan of that. I guess if that's if you're on controller, that might work out better for you. But yeah, here I just go, whee, hands off. It's not friction. It's the when I turn on that other setting, what it was doing is I move the mouse right, and it's saying yes, please turn right by this many degrees, and so it stops. Shall I say on control there's no option, it's just normal turning. When you say normal turning, not centered crosshair? Like moving like I am? Ellie's saying you do have the same setting, so go figure. Rail jack. Yeah, part centered crosshair. They're there on controller as well as keyboard and mouse. It's possible you might have fallen into the trap of going, changing this, seeing no change and going, oh, see, it doesn't work on controller. Because controller setting is down here. The number of times things like that comes up is a little funny. A little funny. Was it the fire manual trigger weapons continuously is also keyboard, mouse, or controller separated? And so some people were going into their settings of like, it's probably going to be here. Nope, it's not here. Let's see, where would it be? Oh yeah, it'd be inaccessibility, of course. So they're going into... Here it is. In here, they'd go in here, see that, they'd turn it on, and then it's not working, they go, oh, it don't work on controller. Because, I'll be honest, this UI is not trying to call out that these are separate sections of the same stats. When you look at it, you can see it, you go, oh, obviously, that's hold to sprint, fire, fire, aim. But the lack of a color difference on the titles, the lack of icons to match up to controller versus KBM, it's not immediately distinct, and that just throws some people off. Anyway, let's not save anything I've done there. Hopefully that's fine. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so that auto roll is like, okay. So this is trying to act like it's 2.5 dimensions, but at least we can do a proper flip. If we couldn't do a proper flip, then I'd be mad. that would just feel wrong. It's like our here in Warframe, in terms of aiming upwards, you see how high up we can aim? Look at the circle I would draw on the ceiling there. If we use a different weapon, you can probably see it better. You see how tight to near true up I can aim? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's close to true up. On Soulframe, I think it only goes to like there. So you get this wide circle. In order to hit there, you need to go like that. Whereas Warframe, you can stand near enough right under stuff. So sometimes you'll get that in games, and if we had that in space, oh, that'd be horrible. Just saying, doesn't it only try to set you flat whilst you're not turning the camera much? Define not turning it much. Because I could feel it wanting to do it there. You know. I let go of it for a moment, it's like, oh, here we go. No. You guess because Soulframe has less verticality, and yet it actually has verticality in order to shoot some targets to cause loot to drop down. I encountered that on the first live stream I did a couple weeks ago now. Yeah, that was a fun one. Racing, one issues with Soulframe is melee attacks follow camera setting, or not having it. Yeah, the melee in Soulframe was a challenge, I'll be quite honest. I'd be looking at one thing, trying to block a thing, and then I go, right, now let's attack him. And I'd attack the guy over here, not hitting the guy and staggering the guy I'm looking at, who would then hit me in the back. I'm like, bruh. Not what I was looking for. Right, seeing as that it is a suitable farm, we've verified that, and we've verified the continuous spawn, excuse me, even in Exterminate, it means we can indeed farm this one until we get the drop. The drop being here, the Glazio Mark IV Zetki variant. If I wanted to get the other Glazios, it would be Glazio Mark
You
IV.
exist to strike. You strike to win.
Actually, I should be searching for the Levan Glazio Mark IV. There we go. Yeah, so the Levan Glazio Mark IV only drops from the cruise ships. Taro Axio Vorak.
The crew is not.
Hold on. Taro Axio Vorak. Not Orm. So you can't get the Levan Glazio from the Veil. Oh. That's a little unexpected. And as for the Vida, that one does drop from the Veil. Huh. Okay. Zero Sensei on Bifrost Fighter spawn stopped entirely after 40 minutes or so. Yep, that's about the same as what I had. It might be timed, it might be kills based, not clear at this point. Not a focus of testing, but like 15 minutes of the same farm, if you don't get what you want, reset, is perfectly sufficient. Perfectly sufficient for me. And what do we get? Nope. Alright, that's fine. We have got a couple of cruise ships that can spawn on this mission as well. I think you usually are locked to just 2 Corpus cruise ships per mission. So if you get your 2, don't get you what you want, and it's only a cruise ship drop, just quit the mission, load a new one. There's no point running the mission. Unless there's something you really need there. Right, let's stun hold you.
Let's take the fight.
Oh yeah, look at all those puncture procs. That's going to be amplifying my damage. No more chances in the Grenadier mission? True, but then Grenadier mission has a lot more cruise ships. And, to be honest, just more fun.
Full squad, small arms.
But yeah, if you need to farm the Outriders, ooh. Yeah, that is more work.
Fires extinguished. Scrubbing atmosphere.
Yeah, with these guys, so that my crew don't have to do all the work.
Target in range. Firing. Shelve the bloodlust. Orders repelled. Back to work.
Weaver, no loot. Oh well. Fuzzies, Weavers. Oh, got a drop from that Weaver. It is Vault 3, never mind. Remember, 1% drop of the thing we're looking for. 1%. And every time we don't get it, we don't get closer to getting it. There is no pity system involved. Pure RNG. 1% every single time.
Launch torpedoes.
So yeah. And if you want the others, well, we've had 1 cruise ship. I don't think I've moved to the right spot to trigger 2nd cruise ship yet. Let me just spot that. Check where the ship go. There we are. If I move myself here, you just start hitting the security nodes. That should trigger 2nd cruise ship. Or do I need to hit a few security nodes? Oh yeah, the railjet used to be a lot bigger on the inside, and the side turrets are on the side, rather than in the middle of the middle, accessing top and bottom. The whole railjet was made smaller because there was a lot of empty space and it was annoying people. So for a smoother gameplay experience, it was simplified and shrunk. Alright, come on. Where's that next cruise ship? If I take out this node... Cruise ship?
I want more
Yeah.
firepower out
Halfway
there.
through
Launch one of our
the security nodes, we got a new cruise ship. Cool. Once again, my crew are going to pepper it with procs. Why did I come here? What the... Ken. Oh my god, 31 procs on it? That's going to do a lot. Yep, that's dead. Blow up everything else nearby, just because I can. Loot happens. None of it's the loot we're looking for. So it's at this point here where I'd go, did I get the loot I wanted from that cruise ship? No. Cancel and reload. I've actually been really lucky here. I've got a Vort and Lathe Mark IV. In... Oh, we don't know how many kills because it's carried over. So that actually was also from the previous mission. Never mind. I remember now. We haven't been lucky. That was previous mission. Never mind. Auto lock on failed there, so doing it manually. Jeez. Just sort of blink forwards, they do. It's a Gox. Hit it from behind with that. There we go. Pick up the puppy. How do they do this?
Fire torpedoes.
Car stocks for side turrets for extra damage. Yeah, honestly, it does a lot of good work and has the distraction effect as well, which can reduce the amount of damage incoming to you. So, car stock seems like a very good side turret to have if you've got NPC gunners or someone running as gunner. And even just to use it yourself, because you can use it in the heavy gunner seat. It's just the procs might time out if you're not quick enough on switching. 6 seconds is a long time until you got a 4-second charge. Alright, next ones, here we go. Yeah, we gotta be here for like another 14 minutes, aren't we? Or total 14 on this one. Until and unless I get that drop, we'll just keep on shooting the fighters, farming the weavers, hoping for the best. I wonder if DE have even looked at the stats or care to share the stats, perhaps, of which house of weapons people are using. I wonder if Zetki Corpus weapons are seeing a hell of a lot more use than all of the others. Simply because of this farmability difference. That is one hell of a difference.
Torpedoes locked. Target in range.
There's another 1% roll. Shield array. Yeah, well. Considering how bad your random ships are, right? It's probably not good. A weird thing with just how casual Warframe is, it includes a lot of people who don't seem to care to try. Yeah. Is Enigma Sense permanent or temporary? Enigma Sense. Sorry, not familiar with it. At all.
Arming torpedoes. Locking
You,
onto their
grab
signature.
you.
Firing.
Blap. Permanent? Well, apparently whatever it is permanent. People are saying it's permanent. Again, what is it? That's a name I'm not familiar with. Oh, is that the Duviri perk pickup? Right. Delivery puzzle locator. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, permanent. Not tried it out myself because I've done enough of those. I'm good. I'm good, thank you. I don't so much regret making the video on it as just if I knew what I know having done it, I would never have started making the video on it. I don't care how many people has ended up helping by chance. And also the sheer number of people who go, oh, it's not got this puzzle because he added a bunch more after that video. But no, it was pain researching that. Genuinely horrible. Because again, unfettered RNG. And a system that didn't want to tell me how many things there were to find. Weaver. Not a thing, but not a good thing. Oh well. Looks like we've got a few more minutes of this.
We need heavy ordnance. Fire torpedoes.
Oh, I thought he was going to say send a cruise ship. Darn. Only 2 cruise ships for us. We've had our fill. Those Goks are really weak to Shatterburst because you can just pop it on them and it will hit them behind the shield. So rather than having to fly around them, that is a good way of countering it, it seems. I wonder if the Ordnance will also work as a counter. Get the Weaver kill. Shield array, darn it. That's a Gox. So let's try the artillery. No, yep. Okay, that works. Good. Don't even need to use the Shatterburst then. Oh, artillery, ordnance. That's the word. Yeah, next time I see a Gox, I'll just fire that at it. Speaking of, Gox. Bloop. Oh. Shield gating was that? No, nope, they just tanked that. Never mind, Shadowburst is the way. Sod that then. Come on, next round of fighters, please. I don't think we're timed out on them yet. Alright, 12 in. It might be that it is a limited number of them then.
Locking on to their signature firing. Crew, strategic targets disabled.
Well, take out the last of those, I guess. Yeah, I guess it is a fixed number of spawns rather than a fixed time. Because that was quicker. And, well, we're getting better at taking them out. Yeah, let's just, do I... Yeah, there's a bunch of endo there. Let's run this through. Oh god, no. I know there's replays of my really old streams, right back at Streamline Railjack. Let's maybe not go watch some streams that old, please. You don't need to do that, there's nothing of value out there. Go... If you need something that old, find someone else, please. Please. Oh my god. Some history can stay history. You smell fear? Well, smell of vision has not been installed, so sorry to hear you were scared of something. Remember, if you're ever feeling vulnerable, just throw it back at them. They're the vulnerable one. They're the coward. Totes. Lavos without Cedo? Yeah, all the time. Lavos and Cedo work well together, but I mean, does it look like I need to set up some secondary fire into alternative effect stuff? I can just kind of go... and things die. That would have been a better if I didn't just run out of Incarnate Charge right then. But it's fine, you get the impression. There we are. Doesn't matter the level of enemy, you just kind of put a few shots in their direction. They get the idea real quick. And if that don't work, use more gun. Very effective. Very, very effective. Some might even say most effective tactic available for that lovely backronym. Yeah, the Burster does struggle as an incarnate weapon on really low level missions, simply because the enemies die so easily to the burst. And not just die to it, but because the first shot kills them, the second and third in the burst don't get any charge. Which always feels a little bit crumb. But if it weren't that way around, Incarnates would be even more oppressive at low levels. We don't need more of that. Damn, I really left that guy on like 1 health. My bad. Sabatiso. Do I like Jade Star's helmet builds? Well, they're getting nerfed. It's my understanding. Sorry to let you know so soon like that, but yeah, apparently news on the grapevine is that D announced in a dev shell that they're looking at adding LOS restriction to it. So you might find that substantially less effective in the near future. I'm the first person to get your name right? Now that is a miracle. Holy shit. I'm the one to get a name right? That, what kind of backwards world is this one?
Notifying scavenger crews. The locals.
JSAR's nerf is quite sensible? Yeah. LOS nerf, or basically the application of LOS. Honestly, the fact that it wasn't there in the first place is kind of wild. It's like, here's an auto-targeting ability. It also doesn't need to even see the enemy to hit them. Alright. Also, some enemies it can see, it'll miss by curving around them. Yeah. I was just targeting another AoE. AoEs from abilities usually... projected AoEs usually don't have an LOS restriction on them. And I specify projected AoEs, but we'll see how it all comes together. Most people skip the second S in your name. Second S, well, they go Sebaiso? Or Sebaiso? Instead of Sebasiso? Huh. Honestly, I've come across far harder names to read. Far, far harder names to read. Yours is at least all just one word of a name, intentionally. Whereas, say, you'll get someone who strings together a couple vowels in the middle of the name, and they don't put a capital to indicate that one of those vowels is actually the start of a second word. Yeah, like, look at it, under Ravage's comment here, we've got the name Vorban. Obviously, Warframe Vorban. But it'd be like if someone has the username Va-Yuban, but they don't capitalize the U to make it clear that it's 2 words written as one. Now, that's a difficult name to read when people do that. When it's all lowercase and supposed to be 2 words. If it's a clear 2, like under average, I can figure it out. But then if it turns out there is actually meant to be Undi Rave Rage, I'll be like, put some capitals in there, please. Not to make your name sound cursed now, Undi, but I have done. It's done now. friends with Cephalon Rage. That's how it works. You receive psychic damage, and that's what you get for not capitalizing the separate words in your name. I'm blaming you for this one. Just says, how do I say your name? Marishism? It's either Mar or Marishism, but it's definitely Shism on the end there. It's not Marashism, you know? I need to end this stream. I'm getting insane, apparently. I'm leaving the dojo. That's possibly the worst intentional mispronunciation I've done in a while. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Can we even see what we got that last mission? I ran away from the railjack so quick. Nope, nope. Oh well, it's done. When in doubt, just pronounce it with a Japanese accent. Yeah, I'm not going to get cancelled, thank you. Derosmio. I'm sorry, Foxtron. The Kenjineer is... Kenji losing it. Right. Sorry. This is what I'm talking about. Stringing words together, no capitals. Kenji, Kenjilo. I'm seeing the word... I'm seeing ILOS, and brain goes, okay, yes, a silo. So it's Kenjilo Zinjit. Ah, yes, have you met my friend, Kenjilo Zinjit? Mm-hmm. The pain. The absolute pain. Ninjarific say, oh man, I made the same mistake. I think they... It's Ninjarific. See, at least I made it into a joke with Dan in the Dan series. Good old Dan Tayford Arwin. Or just Dan, for short. Which apparently, even until the very end of the series, many people didn't realise that Dan Tayford Arwin was actually just Dante for the win. It's a pun. It's a joke. All along. Yeah. No, I did not spend an inordinate amount of time trying to come up with that one.
Another pun? How humiliating.
Cheers, Ali. In fairness, I did that in respect of the username used by someone who did a similar kind of playthrough on a different game that inspired me to do that. It was a even line playthrough of someone who intended to never buy from other players, never sell to other players, never fly with other players, no interaction with players other than to have a PvP interaction. If someone tried to gift him something, he'd throw it away. Didn't even take stuff from the daily login rewards. He was ground up working from zero to hero. And what he was doing was trying to build a ship called a Cinnable, which is not an easy ship to build. And so his name was Bill. Bill Dinger Cinnable. Because he's building a Cinnable. It's just so bad. Cheers, Bill. That's so bad. So it was a homage to that. Dan Tayford Arwin. Dan Tayford Arwin was a homage to Bill Dinger Cinnable. And I think that fits all of this conversation just now. Do I have the Lavos vid? Exclamation mark Lavos, if someone else hasn't already just done the link there. No one has. Why is it not responding? Moon, I think you might be mishearing me, just because the name of the ship. It was that. There's the bot. The bot just apparently doesn't like Akaboy. Oh wait, Akaboy, you did it as a reply, that's why. Reply commands don't work, because technically your whole message is the message you're replying to, and then your reply. All in one. That just throws off bots. It's like when people try to use commands as part of, say, like, a highlight message. Breaks it. Chalk saying, wait, does that mean and they're not doing? No, Chalk, because the message you've done there is at the Almighty Queen River, whatever Queen typed, then your message reply message. All of that becomes one message. Any plan on updating old build videos? I am constantly covering new things as they are updated and need to come out. There's so much stuff to cover in general in Warframe that going back to older stuff that falls out slowly incrementally over time is honestly just not a good use of my time. Which would you rather? The same 20 videos redone every few months? Or the new stuff? So like covering the new Warframes with Sirius Orion, new weapons, new augments, revisited Warframes like with Nidus, that's on the list. Am I surprised about Reb's Equinox tweet? I don't even know what Reb's Equinox tweet is. You say that like I regularly visit Twitter by choice. Let's see, what is Reb's tweet? The first I see from Reb is today Pablo Makes visited and we did co-op Slay the Spire 2, which was so much fun. Regent is my baby. That's got nothing to do with Equinox. Let's have a look what else Reb posted. Here we go. Had fun playing only Equinox Prime for over a month. It's important to be clear. I know how carefully resources are assigned for Warframe worker projects, so don't expect tweaks anytime soon. However, I have a list. Oh, she has a list. Okay. Fair enough. Let's have a look at the list. Let's just have a look at the list. This may be worthwhile. As you might be able to tell from my suddenly very bright camera, I do not have light mode turned on Twitter because I barely use it and don't care to try and make it a dark mode experience. So if you hate light mode, tough. You're about to see it. Right then. Yeah. Boop. Reb saying, I did an extreme mix of builds, different helmet abilities, some getting rid of duality entirely. Oh, I think you mean metamorphosis, because duality is the augment, but okay. Different arcanes and generalist Archon Shard loadouts. Augments were rotated, etc. Lots of experience, lots of notes. Does that continue with the list? Oh. It does not. I was promised a list. See, this is why you don't use Twitter. It is an absolute travesty, even when you're going to one of the few sources of good information. Still a travesty. Reb tweets some absolutely unhinged stuff from time to time, and Pablo vague posts in a way that causes the entire community to melt down. And in case you're unaware as to the level of shit posting that Reb will do, that includes this. I quote from Reb, haunted to have missed whoever sat here before I arrived. Just incredible power. A nameless god walks among us. That one's made the rounds more than a bit. And then there is the one that I have shared with a couple people before now. A screenshot of a tweet Reb made. Which I don't think I can show you here on stream. Suffice to say, I am following Reb on my business account. This is the Kendnir account. Frankly, it's the only account I need for Twitter at this point in time. But one thing I don't think one should ever do with a business account is start following inappropriate stuff. Non-business stuff. That's just... If you've got stuff you want to get up to in your spare time, you keep it in your personal life. So imagine my surprise to open up Twitter and to be greeted by a scantily clad pair of rather oversized boobs. What wasn't a small rack? I'm suddenly flashbanged by boobs from an account called Reb. But it wasn't Reb, our Reb. The reason it was on my feed was because Reb had replied to it. And that was enough for Twitter to go, oh, yep, here you go. Boobs. What? Now, like I say, because of that, I don't think it is Twitch appropriate to bring up. I say very scantily clad. And the context of it... the context of it is very Reb, that's all I'll say. The context of it is very Reb. The Reb we know. So yeah. In terms of what happens on Twitter, best to avoid. Sorry, Spruce, I'm going to have to let you down at this point. The tweet has since vanished, and I think it's because the original poster deleted their tweet. The false Reb deleted their tweet, and so our Reb's response to said tweet is also gone, as far as I could tell. Because I did try to find a link to send proof to someone later on, but I still have the screenshot in a Discord DM when shared to someone else going, why is this suddenly on my feed? Have a look at the names, and they went, oh my god. Yeah. So yes. I wouldn't say I was terrified, brother, anymore, just going, sorry, what account am I on? What did I click on? Why is there softcore porn on my Twitter feed? I thought I was on my business account. I was. Business just took a different direction. So yeah. Anyway, with that absolute distraction of sending us in various ways, and I don't think I actually answered the original question, which was... let's see. Surprised about Reb's Equinox tweet. Sorry. Tonality. Try it again. Surprised about Reb's Equinox tweet? Because there's a question mark there. To that Captain Calamity, I have nothing really to add to it. I mean, yeah, it's just kind of what it is there. God. Oh god. And I quote, did I log into my Kenguneria account? Kenguneer. That's so bad, it's actually kind of good, but it's still bad. It doesn't qualify as good, but it's got a certain veneer to the bad there. Well done. Well done. I think it's about time we do a giveaway. That's worse I pronounced it that way. Sorry, Sprue Yous. Didn't mean to insult you. And on that bombshell, I think it's about time we do a platinum giveaway. I do think it's about time we do a platinum giveaway. Let's open up the draw for a platinum giveaway. Exclamation mark enter in the chat for a chance to win that 75 plat. If you're a regular here, you know the deal. You could slide on in with a frame of your choosing if you are indeed a VIP or subscriber. But everyone can join in all the same there. Doesn't matter if you've been here for ages or just arrived. Doesn't matter if you're a VIP, moderator, or first-time viewer. Everyone's got the same chance. As long as you do, exclamation mark enter. This is only one of the conversations to end the stream of all time. Yeah. We do go off the rails a little bit here. Like a train hurtling down the side of a mountain. The wrong side of it. We do go off the rails a bit. But that's what you come here for, right? You know, if you want just nice, carefully scripted videos where I speak in a very Kengineer guiding voice that you get on YouTube, you go to YouTube. Yeah. Today we're going to be looking at some particular interesting thing where DE have introduced a feature, and I'm going to explain why the feature was not described correctly. I'm the Kengineer, let's solve yet another problem. And then you come here, and you get all the sass, and the distractions, and the high vocal range from as everything goes wild, and you'll never get that sound from me again. What did I drink earlier? I don't actually know. So we got 30 seconds left on this giveaway. Exclamation mark enter for a chance to win on that 75 plat. Oh yeah. Nothing beats the Gara instance so far. Oh, for high pitch? Oh, yes! Oh, yes. That might have been the highest giggle I have done in my entire adult life. Yes. But it was some fucking good loot. The Gar instant? Yes. Do we have the clip somewhere? Do we have the clip? Before we do the draw. There is a clip. There is definitely a clip. Let's do the draw and then we'll find the clip. I don't... Let's do the draw, find the clip, that way around, keep our focus. We'll get there. Yeah. Ellie, don't spoil things. We'll find the clip. Right as soon as, you know, we do this giveaway that some people care about, right? You know, whether some platinum on the line or something. Oh, there goes Calamity. Sorry, just watching you get obliterated. Instead, our winner is Meow in the Walls. It's certainly better than the mouse the other day.
Excellent work, Tenno. The extraction point is up ahead.
Meow in the Walls, congratulations. You are our winner today of the Platinum giveaway, but we don't have your details on a record. So I am going to need you to break character. You're going to need to do a little bit more than Meow right now. We need you to type in !IGN, followed by your platform and your username on Warframe, so we know where to send the Platinum over to. That'll be sent out by DE. They do it every couple of weeks, so you'll see that within a couple of weeks in your inbox, so long as you use that IGN command. !IGN, then platform, then your username, all one message. It's as simple as that. Oh, you've got a username with dots in it. Oh, that is always fun. That definitely never turns into a link. Are you going to claim that website? http:// because we got the S because it's a silly site. Who needs security? meow.in.the.walls. It would be perfect. But anyway, GG's on that there. Alright, let's end the mission this moment. Let's see if I can find the Clipperino, if someone even found it first.
Another pun? How humiliating.
Sanitize your inputs? Hey, what? The inputs for the bot, that's sanitized. It's Twitch that turned it into a link, Moon. It's Twitch that did that. What's the square with the hydrate? Cheers. Oh yes, Jellyfish. We do love Bobby tables. We do. Alright, let's see. So, Twitcherinos. Into the channel. Oh, look, it's my face. Zoomed in. I don't like that. Please do not show me my face in such detail again, Twitch. Other people can appreciate that, not me. What are we doing? We are trying to find a clip from a much older time on this stream, and then otherwise we're gonna have to wrap it up. Let's see. So, you know, not the damage, not the very awkward moan, not a evil NPC, not Nova getting nerfed, not Reb talking about my D&D work that was great, not the clip that Warframe themselves took of the channel. Okay. Not when I murdered Flo. The viewer, not the mod. Let's see. Pride Flag fan. I still need to find where that's gone. Somewhere around my house. Not the Apex Legends one. How far down do I need to go for this? I found freaking Lethal Company now. I'm gonna find this. It's just gonna take a moment. I know there's a clip of this. No, not the Cat Maid. Not the Crikey. Not the Polarities. Not the Ballistica ghosting a cruise ship, which, by the way, still boggles the mind that even happened. Not my font. Not the door. Not the twerking Urali. Not the Rule 34. Come on, where is it? I hope I haven't scrolled past it, because I'm finding some really weird old clips now. Ah! Bagara. I found it. Let's just get this up on screen for everyone. A title got a solid Gilgar at you? Welcome in, dinos. Welcome in. We've had a lot of giggles right now, I'll be honest with you. We have had... yes, a lot. We need you to go... Where? You to go away. There we go. Right then. Yeah, me before I was wearing glasses. It feels weird to me as well. I'll be honest with you. That Ken face right there, that one, the angles pointing that way, that Ken face right there, that just looks wrong. Without the glasses, just looks wrong. I've worn glasses for less than a year. Within a month of wearing them, like, why did I never have glasses before? It looked stupid. Anyway, let's turn on the audio for this. Full volume. During a Warframe stream, to give some context, during a Warframe stream, one of our regular viewers, Mantis Patty, popped into the chat to say, sorry. I lost a ship at Eve. Like, oh god, what happened this time? This was becoming a regular occurrence at the time. He died to Gara, one of the rarest NPCs in the entire game. This is about the equivalent of bumping into Stalker Prime Umbra. And it has the loot to match. So, of course, we ditched Warframe to do it.
Gara's down, give me that.
Let's see, what did we get?
Thank you, repair ships. You were 100% needed.
And that is the sound that it elicited from me, seeing that loot pile inside.
Gara's down, give me that. Thank you, repair ships. You were 100% needed.
Return to monkey, well past monkey. This is straight, yeah, chipmunk. Oh god, that's freeze frame. Anyway, yeah. Is that stream still in VODs? I'm fairly certain, yeah. If you search the replays channel for Gara, you'll probably find it. Plus other actual Gara streams. So, loot comes in a variety of tiers in Evil-Line. You've got the basic items players build at the basic level. Then you've got quote-unquote meta items, slightly improved. I know the face. I know. Then you've got the step above that, which is Tech 2. Players build that. Improved variants, but still just, run-of-the-mill. Then you've got Faction. We're at 4 tiers up now. Faction. That's better again. Stronger than Tech 2. More efficient. Good stuff. Then you've got Dead Space. You're like, okay, now we're getting some really shiny bits and pieces. And then you have the rarest of the rare, Officer Loot. Literally does not get better than that. The absolute best stats you can get for any of those items in the game. Top tier. Toppest tier. Some of those items are so rare they don't have prices. You can't price them. They're just that rare. And we didn't just get one of them. We got 2 of these ultra rare items from that one NPC. One of them being the single most valued item that NPC could ever drop. Nothing it could drop is ever worth more. The ship that Mantis lost was worth, I think, about 1%. 1 singular percent of the value of that single module. So, I saw that number. And appropriately responded to it. We eventually sold the module, split the money between everyone in the group. Mantis got the biggest chunk because, of course, Mantis found the NPC. Couldn't kill it himself. Needed myself and crew to come in. But yeah, we absolutely enjoyed the payday on that. And to reaffirm just how rare this NPC is, in all my time of ever playing the game, I have seen them twice. Twice. Ever. Mythic saying that module's worth about as much as their entire account. Yeah. Yeah. So that is why we were quite so excited about it. How long have I been playing the game? Well, these NPCs got released only a few years ago, so it's less than the sheer length of time I've been playing, but still, in all the time they've been out, ever since they came out, I've seen them twice. Not for lack of trying. And actually, technically, not only have I only seen them twice, both times I've seen that NPC, it's because Mantis found it and called me for help. So, I mean, yeah. Rare. I have found its younger cousin in one other area of space once as well. These are rare. And that's why I say Stalker Umbra Prime level. Like, you just don't come across this stuff. Some people don't even see the NPC when it spawns because they they literally don't have it on their list of targets list. It's so rare they never realize they needed to add it to their target list. And so they start dying. They're like, what's shooting me? Nothing's here. Until they switch to their show me everything tab and go, oh, death. It's that rare. Anyway, that is... How did we go so far down the distractions today? I don't even know. But yes, credit to Mantis on allowing that situation to happen. Slightly less credit to Mantis, he did lose his ship to said NPC both times he found it. But hey, you know what? If that's the cost of it, that's the cost of it. We take that. Umbrella is saying, when I search the Can to Do Extras Gara on YouTube, you get 12 VODs. Oh. Well, that's a few, isn't it? Do we have... Is Gara command connected to this clip? No, it isn't. It's connected to the Gara video. Of course it is. Why would it be connected to anything else? So I'll just give you guys a link to the clip if you care. There we go. Right. That is definitely now many minutes after the end of the stream, where it is actually the end of the stream. Thank you everyone for joining in. I do hope you have had yourselves a wonderfully weird, distracted time, and I will see you in the next one on Wednesday. I have definitely got some things to announce next week, but I need to finalize the details for you to hear those announcements. In the meantime, have a good start to your week, and I'll catch you then. Bye-bye.